U.S. citizens.
It follows yesterday's Supreme Court ruling that election officials may count mail-in ballots arriving after Election Day if they were postmarked beforehand. And it's a setback for President Trump, who took to Truth Social, writing, quote, "It is more important than ever to pass the Save America Act," writing, "All voters must show photo ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel."
Fox's Alex Hogan. It's going to be a really hot day for millions of Americans. Heat warnings and advisories from Louisiana up to Wisconsin over to Maine. In Nashville, it could feel like 110 degrees. And emergency management captain Mike Russell says for those they encounter with heat exhaustion,
they'll be sweating profusely, lightheaded. We try to get them to a cool place. We got some frozen bottles of water we can give them. They can hold up on their neck.
The search for survivors continues in the earthquake rubble in Venezuela, where it's up to at least 1,700 people dead. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG, that heat advisory still in effect until 9 o'clock on Friday night, heading for a high in the low 90s. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 6:08. 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. It's 78 in Galena, 78 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG. She stole a Jasper County jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The 2 deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main, and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Should we get rid of Missouri's income tax and replace it with sales tax? You'll decide on Amendment 5 on August 4th. A Q&A session at Joplin City Hall brought a lot of opinions in.
I was just at Hobby Lobby this afternoon, and I looked at my receipt, and I looked up, city, county, state, and district tax, and I looked, and that's already between 10 and 11%. So, maybe we'd be better off in the end, but we just don't know.
Get more on this story at newstalkkzrg.com.
Several days of triple-digit heat index values are expected in Missouri this week. The Kansas City area and parts of northern and western Missouri are under an extreme heat warning, while much of southern Missouri remains under a heat advisory. National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Wise says it's not just the heat, but how long it will stick around that has the forecasters concerned.
Especially for multiple days in a row is what leads those heat impact risks. So that's why we have the heat advisory out through the week for the prolonged nature of the heat index values of 100 to 105.
To find a nearby cooling center, dial 211. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. 78, it is 6:04 going on 6:05. News Talk, KZRG.
Another roundabout. Work continues on West 20th Street in Joplin as crews will be closing 20th and Central City Road next Monday. That intersection will be closed for about 2 full months. The city says local access to homes will be maintained throughout this time. To avoid this closure, traffic will need to utilize 32nd Street in Joplin, along with Malong Road west of Jung Boulevard and Schifferdecker Avenue.
As lawmakers warn another government shutdown could happen this fall, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley says Congress should take shutdowns off of the table entirely.
They should not happen. We should prevent this ridiculous game of chicken that politicians like to play when they don't do their job. I'm totally against a government shutdown. I always have been. I've never voted for one. I've never supported one, and I sure as heck won't support one this fall.
The current funding deadline expires September 30th, leaving lawmakers just a few months to reach a budget deal and avoid a potential shutdown. There's word of a gorilla going pro. Joe Morgan has the story.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Liberatore gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, the service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main in Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Borges.
Next news, 6:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast, and not a bunch changing. Clear mornings and sunny, hot, humid afternoons with a gusty south breeze around low 90s through at least midweek. Heat index values near 100 or hotter with a heat advisory. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Millwood Co. Roofing and Construction. When severe weather hits, choose the professionals at Millwood to repair and protect your roof and everything under it. For details and to receive a quote, visit millwoodcojoplin.com.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Baxter Springs, 78 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 6:08.
Uh-oh, the power's out. My phone's at 2%.
Everyone, stay calm.
Daniel, you're the only one screaming.
I know. I can't find my flashlight, beef jerky, or emergency storm Crocs.
Dad must have found everything, because now he's in there negotiating with the breaker box. Mom's hiding by the refrigerator trying to keep the cold air from escaping. Your point? We're not losing a single chicken nugget.
Wait, what's that beautiful sound?
The lights are back. The air conditioner is working. The nuggets are saved.
Folks, summer storms around here can knock your power out faster than Jenna can empty the snack cabinet.
Hey!
And the heat can make your house feel hotter than going down the metal slide in elementary school.
That's why IPOC Electric and Solar installs dependable whole home generators so your family stays cool, comfortable, and powered up when storms roll through. No more flashlight scavenger hunts. No more charging your phone in the truck.
Call IPOC Electric and Solar today.
When the power goes out, don't sweat it. Just IPOC it.
IPOC Electric and Solar, keeping your family and business powered through every storm.
Now that's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
Homeowners everywhere are letting their neighbors know. If you have electrical issues, call on the residential specialists, JB Electric. When it comes to something as important as your home's electrical system, good enough just won't cut it. At JB Electric, we operate by the JB standards, a set of rules that all of our electricians live by. One of those standards is integrity. We will always shoot you straight.
You were hoping for. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Rick is here. Sarisa.
Hello, Rick.
Wow, Rick
Sarisa.
is here before Sarisa. That's in rare form.
Yeah.
Ah, hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy muy bien. ¿Dónde está la casa de Pepe? Todos los días son días de papas fritas.
Sí.
En la biblioteca a la izquierda.
La bamba.
A la derecha.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Estoy en el... ¿Dónde está? Estoy en el trabajo.
Sí.
America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 national premium data. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
News, weather, politics. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Tuesday morning, just after 6:10 is the current KZRG news time. It's Ted Bojorquez.
It's Steve Scott.
And taking a look at the storm tracker radar here in Studio 1Z, it's 78 in Joplin. It's not even 6:30 yet,
I
Steve.
know, and the sun is just now coming up. It's just peeking over the eastern sky. And there's a full moon, I think. I saw one coming in.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy,
Now,
was it full.
Steve, I know that you are good friends with Father Time, what with your extensive history alongside him.
Sure.
Along with Mother Nature, can you tell the sun to just stay down for the day so that way it stays relatively cool? Do you have that ability?
I don't think that would work. I could try it, but I don't think it would work. I don't think so. But I'll tell you, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot, the high in the low 90s. Heat index values could be as high as 101 to 105 today. Winds out of the south gusting as high as 30 miles per hour, which makes you feel like you're in one of those jet air ovens just heating up and blowing hot air all over you. Then tonight, clear with the overnight low down to 75. Sunny and hot tomorrow, high in the low 90s. Heat index tomorrow as high as 102 to 105. Winds again out of the south gusting as high as 22 miles per hour. In fact, it's almost like rinse and repeat. Sunny, mostly sunny and hot on Thursday, high of 94. Mostly sunny and hot on Friday with a high of 95. And this is why I think the heat advisory might get extended, because for Saturday, Independence Day, it's going to be mostly sunny and hot with a high of 96, so even hotter. We're going to be talking to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. That'll be at 7:25 this morning. And coming up at the bottom of the hour, we have a story about France and their heat wave, and they're blaming us.
The French are blaming us for the heat?
Yeah.
It's because us Americans are just so hot. What can I say?
Ooh, well, that's kind of what they say, but in a different form.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's a story for you. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission is reportedly conducting an extensive investigation into Polymarket, which is one of the world's largest prediction market platforms. Now, Polymarket, they call themselves a prediction market platform. That's their official slogan or whatever. That's how they refer to themselves. Mm-hmm. That's just newspeak for gambling. It's a direct attempt to try and get George Carlin to roll over in his grave. We used to call it gambling. Now we call it prediction markets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a prediction that's going to go over real well.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Polymarket, if you're not familiar, it's gambling on steroids. I mean, people can go on there and they can gamble on literally anything. A lot of the times it's sports, stuff like that. But it's also, you can place a wager on, I bet it's going to rain at least 1 inch in Glasgow today. You can make that wager and put real money on it. Or you could bet on how many times Donald Trump says the phrase radical left in any given speech. You can make wagers on literally anything. I could bet how many times Steve is going to sneeze today, and I'm sure that there's some form of wager that's placed on it.
I'm wondering if there could be a wager about how many times you say how great looking you are.
Well, let me tell you, it would be a lot. And now the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the primary regulatory body in overseeing basically gambling, has initiated a probe into this betting platform. Now, we are getting these reports right now from a nameless insider, so take it all with a grain of salt. Various news outlets have been using this source now that agreed to discuss this on the basis of anonymity, so we literally have no clue who it is. So again, take it with a grain of salt. And also, we're only kind of given the breadcrumbs at this point because it is an ongoing investigation, and it seems to me that the Commodity Futures Trading Commission doesn't necessarily want to sort of tip off their hand to in this case, Polymarket, the people they're allegedly going to start investigating. Now, one of the big concerns with Polymarket is national security, at least in my mind. Well, there's a couple of big concerns. Number one, gambling. That's a big concern that people just have on a moral basis. Things like, for instance, the Show Me State in Missouri. We had those video lottery machines in gas stations. People had a lot of issues with that for a lot of reasons.
Oh, they used to call it a gray market.
That gray market instead of black market or legal. Gray market, we actually have had Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway on this show, the KZRG Morning News Watch, several times talking about this. And she has said, under no uncertain terms, there is no such thing as gray market. It either is or is not illegal. It really is as simple as that. And those video lottery machines in gas stations are illegal, which is why you're starting to see them shut down a bunch all over the state, because now they're starting to crack down on it. So there's that concern of just the basis concern of gambling. There's also the concern of insider trading. That's another big concern. Insider trading is basically you using insider information to make a bet on the stock market and then watching your profits soar. We see that a lot with politicians. A lot of people are not too happy with that. Well, here's the problem with these gambling markets, with Polymarket specifically. If somebody puts a wager on, say, I think Donald Trump is going to say the phrase radical left at least 30 times and I'm willing to bet, $300,000 on it, well, Donald Trump might take a look at that and say, well, I stand to win $300,000. I'm only going to say radical left 29 times. Or you don't have to use Trump. What if Gavin Newsom does that? Or what if Barack Obama did that? Barack Obama, he was just at his library opening, which looks more like a spaceship than a library.
Yes, I would agree.
It looks like the, if you ever watched the movie Arrival, which is about aliens, it looks like their vessel, but in the form of a community center or whatever Obama has. Well, what if somebody wagered Obama was going to say the loony right or whatever, X amount of times? Well, Obama can look ahead of time and only say it Y amount of times and make a bunch of money. That's literally insider trading.
What if there was a bet that Joe would not know where he was going at the end of his speech?
And he pretended like he didn't know where he was going, and then him and his family turned a massive profit. That's literally insider trading. So that's a concern about these markets. Are they legitimate? Are they even fair to begin with? Here's the other concern. For me, this is my big concern, and that is national security. The other aforementioned concerns, those are moral and those are personal concerns. If you think a game, like I think all those Polymarket, I think all those games are rigged. So what do I do in response? Well, as a consumer in a laissez-faire society, free market society, I don't put my money in it. I think it's stupid. I think that's flushing money down the toilet. And if you want to do that, that's your hard-earned cash. You get to do whatever you want with it. I don't care. The same way I think casinos are dumb. The same way I think the lottery is dumb. I don't put my money into it, but you can if you want. Here's what I do have concern about is national security. We had a story not earlier this year, a handful of months ago, about a U.S. Army Special Forces soldier who was arrested after placing a wager on Polymarket as to when the United States would kidnap Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela. Now, this guy put $33,000 down. Why was he so confident in his bet? Because he was in the room for planning the assault. He literally had insider information. He was part of the planning team. He knew the day, he knew the hour, he knew the minute that we were moving in to capture Nicolas Maduro. He put money on the Polymarket gambling site and made a ton of money, made nearly $500,000 as a result. Here's why that's a national security concern. If I'm an adversary of the United States and I'm worried that they're going to start bombing me or they're going to kidnap me from my abode, my imperial palace of sorts overseas, well, then I'm just going to start watching Polymarket. And if suddenly I start seeing $50,000, $100,000 wagers that tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp, the United States is going to attack my country, well, suddenly I'm going to be like, oh, wait a second. It looks to me like a bunch of U.S. Special Forces guys or a bunch of Washington, D.C. insiders that are part of the planning are putting wagers on this because they know it's going to happen tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp. Looks like I better get my defenses ready. You know what I mean?
But it could be the opposite, though. They could put bets in the market knowing that the people would start believing it and then freak them out and do it earlier
and then
or
lose
later.
A ton of money. Is that what the big plan is? We're going to use our government's going to use our taxpayer dollars, place millions of dollars in wagers that they know to be wrong to trick Nicolas Maduro into what? Getting his defenses early too soon? Well, now they're just ready.
Yeah.
He's got his defenses early, 2 days before we actually attack him? What does that prove? What does that do?
Or maybe attack him sooner.
Maybe. The point is, it's still a national security concern in my mind. That's my concern. So, yeah, maybe we could do like a 17D chess move and place a bunch of wagers to trick them. And how about we just don't do that? To me, that seems like a safer bet. What happened to the good old days?
Wait a minute. I thought you said you were against betting.
I am.
Why would it be a safer bet?
Oh, Steve caught me.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. But what happened to the good old days of just keeping a military secret, huh? About planning an assault, keeping the cards close to your chest, and then conducting the assault the best of your ability. That
true.
seems like a much better option instead of this whole maybe we can place fake wagers and maybe we can. I think that's a terrible idea. But what are your thoughts? Text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. KZRG News Time 620.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. The president predicted that the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation waits on pins and needles. I wonder if he put a bet on Polymarket about that.
He could have.
Number 2.
A prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's prisoner transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin starting next Monday. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road near Twin Hills Golf Course will be closed for the construction of a brand new roundabout. The closure will last about 2 months.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court ruling mail-in ballots received after Election Day can be counted if they're postmarked before Election Day? We want to know your thinking on this. It's a complex issue. We want to hear your thoughts. Send us an open mic message on the KZRG app or text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, what's going on with your money on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
There's never a good time for your truck to break down. You're in the middle of nowhere, you're on a deadline, you got a 24-hour roadside assistance with JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. Hi, I'm Justin. I'm the owner of JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. Our master certified technicians can repair your truck roadside or in shop. We'll keep it maintained so you're safe every time you hit the road. We're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 417-438-9461 or find us at jlmobilerepair.com.
All right, kids, brace yourselves. This year, your old man is putting on the greatest 4th of July fireworks show this town has ever seen.
Dad, no. Please don't.
Come on, I've got smoke bombs, sparklers, this thing called a tiny turtle fountain.
Not the tiny turtle fountain again.
Dad, we went inside before it was even over.
Well, this year, I've got 2 tiny turtle fountains.
Gee, Dad, save some excitement for the rest of us, would you?
Fine. Where would you get your fireworks?
Big Charlie's.
Obviously.
Big Charlie's.
Huge selection.
Better prices.
Bigger mortars.
Bigger everything.
Bigger than 2 tiny turtle fountains?
Dad!
Don't be the tiny turtle fountain guy. Get to Big Charlie's Fireworks and load up on enough fireworks to really impress your family. The biggest store with the biggest selection and the biggest savings. Big Charlie's on East 32nd Street across from Flying J. Big Charlie's Fireworks.
Oh, how I love Demolition Day, except for this crap that's still in the way.
Dude, what are you doing other than making a mess?
Don't worry, boss. We'll have this cleaned up in no time.
It's gonna take a long time to load up all of this and haul it off, time we don't have.
You'll still have plenty of time for golf, as I have called Big John's roll-off. They've already delivered our dumps.
Good morning, everybody. Joe said, can they really see how much someone wagers, though? Yes, they on Polymarket, Joe, they absolutely can. You can absolutely see individual wagers. You can't necessarily see who made the wager, because that's just based on like an account, but it's totally public. It's all like they use like the blockchain or whatever. And so, yes, absolutely, they can see individual wagers, and they can see how big the pool is, and they can see where the odds are set. They can see all that. That's all part of it. So, yeah, they absolutely can.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental Joplin. There aren't any dentists around here that are open consistently on Saturday or Friday for that matter. So I saw a need, and I grew up blue collar. Sometimes can't waste some PTO, vacation day. I'm going to the dentist. Get a lot of grateful people and look a lot of grateful families that can actually get their work done on Saturday and Friday. And these girls have bought in. When I bought the practice,
What do you got? What is everyone up to?
Undertaking is done alone. It has to be done with an amazing team. I really feel like they're the hardest working staff in all 4 states because we're all sacrificing time from our families to help our community out. It means something to me. It means something to them. I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
Team Dental Joplin, your neighborhood practice for your whole family.
I'm Nicole Murray with your money now. Shares of French biotech company Abivax have soared 25% this morning after it released fresh data on its lead drug for bowel disease that showed malignancies were in line with expected background rates. The company's stock crashed around 44% on June 2nd, following data that showed there were cancer cases among patients taking the highest dose. Australia's competition regulator is taking Amazon's Australian unit to court, alleging that unfair terms in its Prime subscription contracts allowed the company to introduce advertising to its video streaming platform. Officials say the contracts required more than 1 million annual Prime subscribers in the country to accept advertising or pay an additional $2.05 per month for an ad-free option. Apple supplier Luxshare Precision Industry is seeking to raise as much as $3.1 billion through a Hong Kong share sale. Trading is expected to begin on July 9th. Futures are slightly higher after the Dow posts a new record close. That's your money now.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
The board recommends approving
regarding that seat on the committee, we're promoting
to boost quarterly earnings.
Every day, shareholders meet to discuss important matters about the companies you invest in. Now you can easily make your voice heard. Vanguard Investor Choice gives you a say in the companies you invest in. With just a few taps, you can set your proxy voting preference for your index funds. Visit Vanguard.com/investor choice to learn more. Vanguard investors own shares of our index funds, which own shares of the companies they invest in. Available for Vanguard index funds that participate in Investor Choice. Vanguard Marketing Corporation distributor.
Join me, Clay Travis, and my good friend Buck Sexton weekdays starting at 11 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
Well, if you like sunny and hot, enjoy it because it's going to be happening over the next few days. It's going to be warming up more as the week progresses. The highs today and tomorrow in the low 90s. Mid-90s on Thursday and Friday, and a little bit hotter on Saturday as well with the high of 96. Heat indexes could be in the 100 to 105 range. Therefore, we have a heat advisory in effect at least until 9 o'clock on Friday night. Overnight lows are not that low. At the mid-70s, pretty much what's happening with the overnight lows. And we have the sun coming up now. It's looking very bright on the KZRG eye in the sky. We had a full moon on my way into work today, and we're going to be talking to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic at about 7:25.
Full moon is in like the lunar surface, or did somebody drive by you with their pants down?
I thought that was you.
No, that was just someone that looked like me, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Hey, coming up after the news, speaking of driving, A lot of road work in the 4 states area. Road work that will impact your driving routes. We'll explain more in less than 10 minutes at around 6:40 on News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
At 6:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pahorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
Iran talks with the United States.
Supreme Court wrapping up their term.
France blames the United States for their heat wave.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG.
Boy, I can't wait to hear what their excuse is.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Heat advisory in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night, maybe extended into Saturday. We're heading for a high in the low 90s. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic following sports. That will be at 6:38. Sun is on the rise. It's 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Webb City, 78 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. And on your smart speaker, News Talk, KZRG.
Iranian officials have indicated that direct talks with the United States and Iran will be taking place in Qatar. Trey Hinks from Tel Aviv with more.
The 60-day window is meant to iron out the details of Iran's nuclear program and keep the Strait of Hormuz open. President Trump has indicated he reserves both military and diplomatic options after that time period. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian posted to X saying mutual understanding is a two-way street. If the American side adheres to the agreement, we will also fulfill our commitments. Our approach to unreasonable saber-rattling and baseless threats is to rely on rationality and human dignity in decision-making and to defend decisively and fearlessly when it comes time to act.
The Supreme Court is finishing out its term with several imminent decisions expected today, including a case that will shape the future of women's sports and transgender rights.
The Supreme Court will decide whether Idaho and West Virginia's laws preventing transgender athletes from participating in girls' and women's school sports teams can stand. 2 transgender athletes allege the measures are unconstitutional and violate Title IX, a federal law which prohibits sex discrimination in education. State officials argue athletes who are born male have a biological advantage over females on the playing field. The court's ruling is expected to impact similar laws in more than 24 Republican-led states. The justices are also set to hand down remaining opinions on cases related to birthright citizenship and campaign finance. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Well, as France grapples with a deadly heat wave, the deputy mayor of Paris says Americans are part of the problem.
Audrey Pulvar has had enough of what she sees as American sneering. Her city, like all of France, has faced a record-setting heat wave, a country where air conditioning is far less common than in the United States. The deputy mayor of Paris posted a retort to critics on Instagram. She says those who've been making fun of the French bear a significant responsibility for global warming, adding that air-conditioned American cities are not unrelated to this. She says her city is adapting to climate change in an ecological way, and if the US did the same, the world would be much better off. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
So in other words, our using air conditioning is much better than, or much worse for them because that adds to global heating.
Americans with their air conditioning.
I can't believe it. Sunny, 78. It's 6:34. News Talk, KZRG.
Well, she stole a Jasper County Jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The 2 deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main, and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Amendment 5 will gradually eliminate Missouri's income tax if it's approved by voters on August the 4th. Residents with questions showed up to Joplin City Hall last night wanting transparency.
I remember when Nancy Pelosi said, well, we need to pass the bill before we find out what's in the bill. What?
Yeah.
No. We need to read the bill. That doesn't work for me.
Governor Mike Keogh says it promotes growth, but others say it only helps the richest residents. You can get more information at newstalkkzrg.com. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 78, 636, News Talk, KZRG.
A Joplin licensed professional counselor accused of a child sex crime. Philip Klonowski was arrested just yesterday for allegedly sending explicit messages to a law enforcement informant that he thought was a 14-year-old girl. He now faces a felony charge and is under investigation in Wagner County, Oklahoma.
The Presidential 1776 Award celebrates America's brightest young civic scholars.
From the U.S. Department of Education, led by Secretary Linda McMahon, the Presidential 1776 Awards, hosted by Mario Lopez, is a national student competition recognizing excellence in American founding history. High schoolers from every state competed in a first-round online impossible civics test, with the top scorers advancing to 5 regional semifinals, and then those winners will be competing in the national final in Washington, D.C., with $250,000 in scholarships at stake. The competition airing tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS, streaming tomorrow on Paramount+. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
Is a gorilla growing pro? Joe Morgan has the answer.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Liberatore gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, a service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main, Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast. The heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
No rain showing up on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. It's 78 in Diamond, 78 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 6:39.
You hear that, Jason? Woo! It's the sound of another person learning about the financing options at Bridgewater Roofing.
You sound pretty excited about our customized payment plans, Josh.
Yeah, we made buying a new roof affordable with payment plans designed to fit your budget.
That's a lot to get excited about. And don't forget quick approval and flexible terms. That's because at Bridgewater Roofing, we've got you covered.
Come visit our showroom or learn more at bridgewaterroofing.net.
Reputation, quality, and value too. Bridgewater Roofing takes care of you.
You know that feeling. Your driver calls and says, "You're not going to like this." It's your first holy cow moment of the day. Maybe it's a blown hub, a trailer that won't brake right, a lighting issue right before a load has to leave. But whatever it is, you know your day and your bottom line is at risk. That's why you need Bennett's Truck and Trailer. They know those holy cow moments hit fast. And when they do, you need someone who knows how to fix a problem and keep you moving. From the biggest fleets to owner-operators running on thin margins, Bennett's is the name people trust when the unexpected threatens to put the brakes on your day. Because at Bennett's, it's not just about parts and repairs, it's about keeping your business on the road. Fast service, experienced techs, dependable solutions. That's why so many companies trust the Bennett way.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Cindy from Bennett's Truck and Trailer. Roll into the shop on Thunder Road in Dunawig or find us online at bennettstrucktrailer.com.
Bennett's Truck and Trailer, the name fleets trust and the service drivers remember.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Sarisa the Sneezler. Hey, Bill, what's going on? Tony said it wasn't her fault. She was trying to leave the deputies and they jumped in. You know what? Yeah, Tony, I agree. She's the victim in this situation. That poor woman, all she was trying to do was break out of prison. What's so wrong with that? Hey, Boy Chris is here. Boy Chris said she only blamed American air conditioning. I figured she blamed Trump's bombing of Iran for global warming. Yeah, this is why, listen, this is why America's number 1 and the French are like number 10 at best. Because we see a problem and we actually do something about it. For instance, boy, it's unbearably hot. Time for us to invent the air conditioning and use it. If France is so upset that it's so hot, why don't they get some air conditionings? Why don't they use it? Crazy thought. Yes, Sarisa, you are today the Sneezler. Congratulations.
G. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG, Ted Bojorquez.
And Steve Scott.
And unfortunately, the heat is also joining us live in the 4 states this morning. The Heat's actually in Studio 1Z. Hey, Heat, a.k.a. Hotness. How are you doing today? Actually, I believe hotness sounds something like this. Hey, it's me, Ted Bojorquez. Oh, come on.
You're welcome.
Listen.
Yeah.
All right. How's the weather today?
Well, you are right. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. It could be, I guess you could say, sizzling. The high today is going to be in the low 90s, roughly around 93, with the heat index above 100 to 105, somewhere in that vicinity. Tonight, moony, 75 with clear skies. Tomorrow, about 93 again, hot. Heat index again above 100. 75 tomorrow night, mostly clear. Then sunny and hot with a little bit warmer temperature on Thursday, up to 94. 94 on Friday, and then Saturday, 96 is the predicted high with lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Heat advisory right now just going through 9 o'clock on Friday night, but I would not be surprised if it does not get at least extended through Saturday.
We'll be keeping a close eye on it for you here on News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time 645. Well, some road work in the Joplin area that you need to be aware of. Joplin's 7th Street between Rangeline and Florida Avenue will be closed starting next Monday. Now, thankfully, this is going to be a relatively short closure. It's kicking off 1 week from yesterday, starting at 8 in the evening, and will be fully closed. No detour, no, lane reduction, none of that. Full-blown closure from 8 in the evening until 6 the following morning. So from Monday night to Tuesday morning. This is in Joplin on 7th Street between Rangeline and Florida Avenue. Now, this is right near Latlo's Taqueria stand is right there. The U-Haul storage unit is in that area. It's sort of ish near the neighborhood market that's in that area.
Right. There's also a computer store there at 7th in Florida as well.
Yeah, exactly. So now why are they doing this? Because contractor crews, they are installing stormwater drainage at Ozark Street, which, again, that means this is a full-blown closure. So just keep that in mind. Now, all of this is in honor of the 7th Street facelift that's happening in Joplin, which I know is annoying. I know a lot of people take 7th Street, and I've heard a lot of grumblings, a lot of harumps.
2 more years, at least, of this. 2 more years. Sounds like a chant. 2 more years. 2 more years.
And I know it's annoying, but listen, I have heard so many complaints in my time in the Forest States area about how ugly 7th Street is. Complaints that I would argue are accurate. 7th Street is a dump. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And we all wanted it to be beautified. We all wanted them to fix up the road, to fix up the sidewalk, to clean it up a little bit. Well, this is what that process looks like. It sucks, it's a little painful, and it's certainly annoying. But I'll tell you what, by the end of it, 7th Street is going to be, hopefully, really, really nice.
And thankfully, I've heard rumor that there's going to be no new roundabouts on 7th Street.
However.
Or diamonds.
However.
Yeah.
There is word of a new roundabout elsewhere in the Joplin area.
Oh, another roundabout?
Another one. Yeah. Drivers in West Joplin need to start planning ahead for completely alternate routes because also starting next Monday, July 6th, the intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road in Joplin will be closed because crews are building a brand new roundabout.
So that's going to be the second roundabout out that way because a mile to the east, right there by the Twin Hills Golf and Country Club, that's where they're putting in roundabout number 1. It's probably done or getting close to being done. And then they're going to start with the second roundabout, which is actually right near the Central City Road and 20th Street, which would be right near the area where they're thinking of putting in an AI data center.
Potentially, yeah. And that's also, by the way, near the Twin Hills Golf Course. This is all the same area.
That's a mile to the west.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I know there's that billiard shop out there where this new roundabout is going. If anyone's gone out there, the pool shark shop. So that's out there as well. I probably shouldn't say sharks. They're very nice people there. I've been there several times. But in any case, so you might run into this road if you're going to the billiard shop or maybe if you're going to the golf course from a certain direction or if maybe you're heading to Galena on the back roads. That's where you might see this intersection. It's West 20th and Central City Road. Now, what this means is that this is going to be a full-blown closure. Why? Because they're building a whole new roundabout there. They're shutting the road down and plopping a roundabout.
But one of the things that's going to be blocking is access from 7th Street all the way to 32nd Street, which is where St. Mary's Catholic Church is. And there's also some other businesses out that way as well.
Yeah. Now, the good news is if you live out there, if you have a business out there, your homes and your business is still going to be accessible all throughout the construction, which is expected to last at least 2 months. So that means if you take the back roads to and from Galena and you take that route, guess what? You got to find a different route for the next 2 months. If you take some weird route to get to the golf course and you go down that road, you got to find a new route for the next 2 months. This is a full-blown lockdown here. So all the details can be found at newstalkkzrg.com. This roundabout is part of a larger $9.8 million improvement project that will widen nearly 2 miles of West 20th Street from Schifferdecker Avenue to Central City Road. So if you're thinking to yourself, what they're doing a lot on this road, what is going on? This is a broad project. This new roundabout is just a phase of that project.
That is very true.
All the details can be found inside the KZRG app. Speaking of which, the KZRG app, don't forget, is totally free to download on the App Store, as is the Zimmer Storm Center app. Joining us at 9 this morning is Chris Plant. Following the Plant Man is Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at 11. Then there's Sean Hannity at 2, Mark Levin at 5, and then, of course, there's The Vince Show, starring Vince Colonnese, coming to you live every single weeknight at 8. And after that, there's Joe Pags at 11 and Coast to Coast with George Norrie at midnight. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time 650.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number
Number 3.
The U.S. Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. The president has predicted that the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation waits on pens and needles.
Number 2.
A prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's prisoner transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin starting next Monday. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road, a mile to the west of Twin Hills Golf Course, will be closed for the construction of a brand new roundabout. The closure will last about 2 months.
Sorry, really quickly here. Earlier this morning, we had a story about France having a deadly heat wave right now, and they're blaming the United States for that heat wave
because we have evil air conditioning.
We have the evil air conditioning, which is causing them to have a heat wave. What a joke. Well, Bill on our KZRG video live stream, sponsored by Steve.
Fast Monkey and Liberty Tree Guns.
There it is. Look at that. Steve's quick on the draw with that. Bill said, did you know that the first French fries weren't actually cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece.
Oh. Even our listeners are getting into the bad jokes.
Uh-huh. Look at that.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
The Supreme Court of the United States ruled that mail-in ballots received after Election Day can count so long as they're postmarked before Election Day. What are your thoughts on this? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page or text us at 417-782-1310. What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court ruling that mail-in ballots received after Election Day can count if they're postmarked before Election Day? Coming up, Hannity's Morning Minute. You can tune in to Sean every single weekday starting at 2 on AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. A heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
I learn best by doing.
I enjoy helping others.
I want to leave my mark.
What begins on this campus moves into studios, hospitals, and communities around the globe.
This is Missouri Southern State University.
Explore boldly.
Care deeply.
Impact globally.
Apply now and find your pride at mssu.edu.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact: in the State Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical...
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
The Sneasler sounds like a SpongeBob villain, like the hash-slinging slasher. Or there's also Barnacle Boy, Mermaid Man, the hash-slinging slasher.
So is Mermaid Man, is that a trans?
Mermaid Man is an American hero,
But
Steve.
Mermaid is a girl. Man.
Don't ever disparage the heroic work of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Okay?
Okay.
Unbelievable. I cannot believe you would even think of something like that. If it weren't for them, Bikini Bottom would be underwater. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy!
It is underwater.
If it weren't for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, guess what?
What?
Man Ray would have completely destroyed Bikini Bottom.
Oh,
Thank
no.
God Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were there, standing at the door when the wolves came a-knocking.
When Man Ray came a-knocking, those two heroes stood between us. Between us and the forces of evil. If it weren't for Man Ray and Barnacle Boy, Steve, the dirty bubble would have moved in.
Or it would have been clean.
And would have probably killed all of our children. All of those baby fish would be dead as a result of the dirty bubble.
And
If had it not been for Man Ray and Barnacle Boy,
and those
you put
fish-
respect on their names,
Those fish
Steve.
would not have even gotten a chance to go to their school.
That's very funny.
School of fish.
I got you. That is very funny.
You're welcome.
You'd think that France would think we were cool for using our AC. Such ingrates. Ingrate. That's a great word, Bill. What does that word mean? Time to do a little Googling.
Ungrateful.
Ingrate is the plural form, or ingrates is the plural form of ingrate. Look at that. Is ingrate an insult? Yes, ingrate is an insult. This according to AI Overview.
So is calling them the frogs.
Oh, hey, listen. You are what you eat, okay? You are what you eat.
Morning Minute. Fighting for a $15 minimum wage, to expand the Supreme Court to 13 members, Medicare for all, supports a wealth tax, wants to raise the capital gains tax, wants to abolish ICE, and extends solidarity to Gaza. I mean, this is now your Democratic Party. I have been saying, and I stand by this, we are in uncharted waters for a midterm election year. We've never been in this position before. You only have to do one thing this year, as far as I'm concerned, and just commit in your mind, heart, and soul that you are going to vote and prevent these people from ever taking power. Because if you don't, this is the country that you will hand off to your kids and grandkids.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
You know, paying 70, 80, 90 bucks a month to big wireless companies, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile for unlimited data, that is insanity, especially when Pure Talk, a veteran-owned company, my wireless company, they will give you unlimited high-speed data for just $34.99 a month. That's unlimited high-speed data at Pure Talk. Used to start at 55 bucks a month, but because Pure Talk, they're constantly pushing to give you more for less. Right now, unlimited high-speed data, $34.99 a month. Remember, they use the same cell towers as all these overpriced big carriers. You get the exact same service. Now, their U.S. customer service team is standing by to help you make the switch. It's simple, it's fast, it's easy. You dial pound 250 on your cell. You say the keyword save now and claim unlimited high-speed data for just $34.99. Pound 250, keyword save now. Make the switch to my wireless company, America's wireless company, Pure Talk. Hey, join me, Sean Hannity, every weekday, 2 to 5. It's all happening right here on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Going to be sunny and hot pretty much every single day, and then it's going to be moony and not too cold at night. The highs in the 90s with heat indexes above 100 every day for the rest of the week. That's the reason why we have a heat advisory all the way in effect through at least Friday night at 9 o'clock. And then the heat index today could be from 100 to 105 with the winds out of the south to make it even worse, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. We're going to be talking with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic at about 7:25.
And coming up in less than 10 minutes at around 7:10, we're going to be joined by Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno. We're going to be talking to him about the do's and don'ts of 4th of July. I know it's celebrating America's 250th birthday. It's celebrating freedom in this country, but there's also safety. You know, we can't have people shooting fireworks and starting a bunch of fires. It's just not safe. It's just not a good idea. So Dustin Luno, he's going to be giving us some advice on fireworks safety and fire handling tips. That's coming up in less than 10 minutes on News Talk KZRG.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 7 o'clock.
They'll talk, but not to each other. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. U.S. and Iran negotiations resumed today after days of fighting around the Strait of Hormuz put a damper on the deal to open up shipping through there and extend the ceasefire.
We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon, and they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that, in all fairness.
President Trump's envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are in Qatar. An Iranian delegation is also there, but there are no plans for them to meet directly. Qatar's foreign ministry says the American party will discuss ongoing negotiations with senior Qatari officials. Tomorrow, technical teams from the US and Iran will meet separately with mediators. They're trying to flesh out the Memorandum of Understanding signed earlier this month.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The Supreme Court will wrap up its term this morning, deciding the last 4 cases. The 2 most anticipated rulings involve challenges to transgender athletes playing girls and women's sports and birthright citizenship.
Since its ratification following the Civil War, the 14th Amendment has been understood to grant U.S. citizenship to anyone born on American soil. An executive order from President Trump would end that for children born to parents in the country illegally or temporarily.
It's tremendously destructive. It's extremely costly. I don't know. It's up to them.
The president took the unprecedented step of attending Supreme Court arguments when a challenge to his order was heard in April.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. They keep digging and searching collapsed homes and buildings in Venezuela.
As the death toll from last week's earthquake has now reached over 1,700. Officials say this is the most critical time for survivors who are still trapped under the rubble as rescue crews continue to make their way through damaged cities.
Fox's Carly Shimkus. There is a different search in Monaco. A manhunt for the attacker who tried to blow up a Ukrainian business leader last night. He was injured by the explosive device, and so was a child and a woman whose injuries are considered life-threatening. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Heat advisory in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. Heading for a high in the low 90s today with the heat index above 100 to 105. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 7:08. Sunshine, 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Crestline, 78 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk, KZRG. She stole a Jasper County Jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The 2 deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main, and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Get rid of Missouri's income tax? Amendment 5 looks to do that, but it will add some sales taxes too. You'll see that on the August ballot in Missouri. Joplin State Representative Lane Roberts supports the effort, but understands the hubba-hub.
It's not a simple piece of legislation, and it's truly transformative. I mean, we're talking about changing the way the state receives its funding. So it's a big change, and we shouldn't do it lightly. And I think this is something everybody's passionate about, as they should be. It has that kind of monumental change in how we do business.
Opponents argue the proposal would shift more of the tax burden onto consumers.
Several days of triple-digit heat index values are expected in Missouri this week. The Kansas City area and parts of northern and western Missouri are under an extreme heat warning, while much of southern Missouri remains under a heat advisory. National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Wise says it's not just the heat, but how long it's going to stick around that has forecasters concerned.
Especially for multiple days in a row is what leads those heat impact risks. So that's why we have the heat advisory out through the week for the prolonged nature of the heat index values of 100 to 105.
To find a nearby cooling center, dial 211. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 78, 705, News Talk KZRG.
Well, a federal judge has blocked efforts made by USDA and several states to limit some food stamp purchases, but Missouri is still preparing to move forward with restrictions on certain foods and drinks. Next year, retailers will be responsible for enforcing the changes using guidance provided by the state. Jeremy Bowman with the Missouri Department of Social Services explains some of the new drink requirements.
As far as juices and punches, those kind of things, that they will be required to contain a particular percentage of juice within them. Energy drinks will not be allowed. Sports drinks, to where they can still be purchased for hydration purposes and nutrition highlights.
As lawmakers warn another government shutdown could happen this fall, Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley says Congress should take shutdowns off of the table entirely.
They should not happen. We should prevent this ridiculous game of chicken that politicians like to play when they don't do their job. I'm totally against a government shutdown. I always have been. I've never voted for one. I've never supported one, and I sure as heck won't support one this fall.
The current funding deadline expires September 30th, leaving lawmakers just a few months to reach a budget deal and avoid a potential shutdown. There's a gorilla in the sports news, according to Joe Morgan.
This should not happen. We should prevent this ridiculous game.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Liberatore gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, the service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main in Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 7:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast, and not a bunch changing. Clear mornings and sunny, hot, humid afternoons with a gusty south breeze around low 90s through at least midweek. Heat index values near 100 or hotter with a heat advisory. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Millwood Co. Roofing and Construction. When severe weather hits, choose the professionals at Millwood to repair and protect your roof and everything under it. For details and to receive a quote, visit millwoodcojoplin.com.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. Sunshine, 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Columbus, 78 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 7:08.
Tinkles Ace Hardware, they've got what you need there.
Whoa, easy there, killer. Is that neon salmon with the side of 1970s lime? Your walls aren't just dated, they are crying for help. It's time to neutralize the situation at Hinkle's Ace Hardware. We've got the on-trend palettes that'll turn your fixer-upper into fixed it. Grab the designer-approved colors you see on TV, like the Benjamin Moore favorites used by Dave and Jenny Mars on Fixer to Fabulous, or the iconic Magnolia Home line from Fixer Upper. This is quality stuff, folks. We're talking fewer coats, less mess, and low-odor formulas that won't clear out the house. These coatings are built to last with stain resistance tough enough to handle a scrubbing from a busy household. Save time, save money, and finally stop squinting at those walls. Visit Hinkle's Ace Hardware in Webb City or our location just around the corner from Freeman Hospital in Joplin. Hinkle's Ace Hardware for people with ugly rooms.
Neighbors helping neighbors, Hinkle's Ace Hardware Store.
This summer, one backyard had everything. Burgers on the grill, kids running through sprinklers, fire pit glowing, until the mosquitoes arrived. Suddenly, everyone's swatting. The dog won't stop scratching. The cookout moved inside. Fire pit abandoned. It was the summer that should have been.
until one family fought back and called Bug Away Pest Control.
Hey, it's Doug and Rory from Bug Away Pest Control. Don't let backyard pests cancel your summer plans. Let Bug Away Pest Control use powerful, pet-friendly treatments to treat your yard and stop those pests from returning. We are the only place you can get Doug and Rory's pest-free guarantee. Swim, barbecue, and enjoy your backyard this summer without the fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. Remember, if you don't see our logo, it's a no-go. Learn how we can help with your pest problems at bugawaypc.com. We do exactly what we say. We keep the bugs away.
Customer satisfaction is our number one goal at Bug Away Pest Control.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Plumbers, today will be a good day. You will be profitable. Your clients will be nice. No one will stand over you and tell you how to fix the thing they actually hired you to fix. You will also feel at peace after switching to Progressive, America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 National Premium Data.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
Radio infotainment live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. You're listening to News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
7:12 is the current KZRG news time. It is a hot one today. 78 in Joplin, 77 in Pittsburgh, 79 in the Miami area, 75 in the Neosho area, and it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, and it's going to be sunny and hot pretty much every single day this week with highs in the low to mid-90s every single day. Heat index is going to feel like 100 to 105 every single day. That's the reason why we have a heat advisory in effect until at least Friday night at 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stage. You can get an update from him at 7:25.
And joining us live right now is Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno. Dustin, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Well, Dustin, this weekend is the 4th of July. I know a lot of people are already stocking up on fireworks. And as someone that works for the fire department, can you walk us through some of the basic do's and don'ts of fireworks safety for this upcoming excellent holiday?
Absolutely. And it's going to be a super excellent one, right? Because we're officially turning 250 years old.
Woohoo!
Which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be a great holiday. It looks like we're going to have plenty of heat for the holiday. But yeah, so fireworks safety. One of the biggest things that we see, fortunately this year we're not super worried about like a grass fire. Now, if you try hard enough, you could probably light on fire, but our 4-state area is really green right now. We've had plenty of water. This week we got plenty of heat, and you're probably mowing your yard twice this week. So we're not as concerned about grass or brush fire, which is great. But that doesn't negate the fact that fireworks can be they're a lot of fun, but they can be dangerous. So one of the greatest things that you can do, and it's something that we practice because my kids, they love shooting off all the fireworks, is after you're done, and everybody wants to clean up and make it. They don't want to leave their trash out in the street or at the whatever. One of the things we do is we just pull it down, pull all the trash, all the spent fireworks, and we'll put it in a pile at the end of the driveway. I don't even bring it up to the house, and it will sit there for the next day. Because, unfortunately, annually, we will go to somebody's garage or somebody's attic or somebody's trash can, because it has caught fire because, they were doing the right thing, right? They were cleaning up all their spent fireworks. They took them and threw them all in the trash bin, and they rolled the trash bin right up next to the house. And sometime during that evening, that night, those spent fireworks that still have very, nice red-hot embers in them decided that they were going to smolder long enough until they catch fire. and now the trash can's on fire, now that it's run upside the house and got into the attic or burnt the garage up, and all because that individual was trying to do the right thing and clean up after themselves. I would challenge you to, pull all your spent fireworks into a pile and, leave it in a nice spot on your gravel drive or your driveway or even at the curb, and let it sit there for the evening. And then the next morning, you can go out there and clean that up. And I still don't even put it next to the house. I'll put it in a trash bag and keep it away from the house just because, unfortunately, I've been to several of these fires over the years. So be careful with spent fireworks. They are still very much hot. They still can definitely start a fire, and it usually happens in the hours of when you're sound asleep after celebrating, right?
Yeah. So, Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno here on News Talk KZRG. Is it an okay idea to maybe hose down those spent fireworks before you go to bed, or is that not a good idea?
No, that's absolutely fine. Is to hose them down, or pour a little water on them. But I still, because some of those embers can be very deep seated, and because they're wrapped in cardboard and different things, you may not have got water all the way down into it. So I would still not put them in a trash can and not bring them up to your house.
Yeah.
Hosing them down would be a great idea.
Yeah.
But time is your greatest deterrent on that. So let's say if something, maybe they did catch fire and you burnt a little tiny pile of trash at the corner of your driveway, there's no loss there. So we would much rather have that call of somebody saying, hey, there's a small pile of trash on fire instead of, oh yeah, by the way, your attic's on fire. Right?
Right. Yeah. It's Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno here on News Talk KZRG. So, Dustin, if people are, setting off fireworks on their property for this 4th of July, what do you recommend they have on standby? Do you recommend buckets of water? What should they have?
That's not a bad idea to have some type of available water source. Things can happen. I would, one of the greatest things is, you keep your spent fireworks away from, your pile of really good fireworks, right? The stuff you haven't set off yet. And don't be lighting, your fireworks right next to that pile of, unspent fireworks. A few years back, we had an incident where one of the communities was setting off fireworks. And they had I want to say it was like a 20-something foot flatbed trailer, and it was loaded with fireworks. And it was much like if you watched the news a few weeks ago where Broken Arrow caught a fireworks tent on fire. This individual somehow managed to, a hot ember landed, and it caught the entire trailer of fireworks on fire at the same time. It was an amazing show for about 30 seconds, right? But then it was all gone, which including the trailer. The trailer caught fire as well. So be careful about where you light your stuff, right? Don't light your fireworks right next to your stockpile of things to be used yet.
Yeah. Now, Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno here on News Talk KZRG. If an emergency does break out as a result of 4th of July celebrations this weekend, such as a fire, or maybe somebody lights a firework and doesn't set it down in time, and boop, there goes a thumb, what should people do in those emergency situations?
Obviously we're going to be there. All of our crews are going to be at the stations ready in case you need us. I hope you don't need us by any means. I hope it is a quiet evening filled with a lot of fun and celebrating. But if you do need us, obviously you can call 911 and we will be there very, very quickly. I would strongly encourage individuals where they're, setting off fireworks not to hold them in your hand. Unfortunately, I watch a couple different Facebook groups, as we look at different training opportunities, and some of our medical groups and x-rays. And right now the theme is, how many people have 10 fingers today that might not in a couple of days. And unfortunately that happens. That's a real thing, that individuals that will hold on to a firework to light it and misjudge the timing, or even a hot ember jump, on that firework to a different spot on the fuse, and it goes off prematurely or something. They are explosives, right? So they absolutely can hurt individuals, cause burns, cause amputations, traumatic injuries. So be careful, be cognizant of what you're doing, and be very careful.
Yeah. Joplin Fire Department's Dustin Luno, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you again soon, Dustin. Happy 4th of July.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, have a good one. That was Dustin Luno with the Joplin Fire Department with that little outlook on 4th of July celebration safety. KZRG News Time, 7:20.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. Now, the president predicted the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation waits on pins and needles.
Number 2.
A prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's prisoner transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin starting next Monday. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road near Twin Hills Golf Course will be closed for the construction of a brand new roundabout. The closure will last about 2 months.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
The Supreme Court ruled that mail-in ballots received after Election Day can count if they're postmarked before Election Day. What are your thoughts on all that? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message or text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, a look at weekday weather. That's in less than 5 minutes on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. A heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Ooh, pumpkin spice coffee. That sounds good.
Avery, good morning, Avery. Avery said, I already miss fall. I miss sweaters and pumpkin spice flavored coffee. We still have pumpkin spice coffee, don't we? Please say we do. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice, TBH. I know Steve is a big fan of pumpkin spice. Him and all of his gal pals, they go out, they get their mani-pedis, they go around town.
We don't do the mani-pedis, we do the woman patties.
They go, I love pumpkin spice.
And everything nice.
They have their keys on their keychain and they're clicking and clacking them around. They talk about how much they love purses and they have their little, they have their fluffy Crocs on and they cruise around.
And belt packs, fanny packs.
And Steve goes, oh my God, did you hear what Janet said to Bethany? And then Yolanda,
God, Becky, look at her.
Yolanda says, what? What did Janet say to Bethany? And Steve goes, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. And then she goes, tell me, please. And she's like, and then Steve goes, but you can't tell anyone I told you. And then Yolanda says, I promise. Meanwhile, Yolanda is fully planning on telling everybody she knows the second the conversation is over. As a matter of fact, Yolanda is live tweeting the conversation for the internet to hear what Janet said to Bethany. And then, when it all blows up in Yolanda's face, who's she going to blame?
Ghostbusters.
Steve. She's going to blame Steve. And then Steve's going to go, hey, what the heck, Yolanda? I thought I told you not to tell anybody. And Yolanda says, look, girl, you know I tell everybody everything.
You look, girl.
If you didn't want everybody to know, you shouldn't have told me. That's kind of on you. That's kind of like walking into a swamp full of alligators and being mad when they bite you. Tigers don't change their stripes. Crocodiles don't change their scales. I'm Yolanda. What did you expect? And Steve goes, that's it. You're off the Christmas card list.
You are way into something that I don't have the foggiest idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Notice how Steve said, I have no idea. Listen, I'm reporting the news. This is just what happened. This is what happened to Steve last weekend. That's why yesterday he was a little bit tired because he was a little bit stressed and he had a bunch of calls from all the neighborhood gal pals calling him up and going, Steve, I can't believe you spilled the beans. You spilled the tea.
Yes, I did.
On what Bethany said to Janet and what Janet said to Bethany. Yeah.
Yolanda's awful, according to Cerisa.
I agree, Cerisa. I'm not a big fan of Yolanda. I've been trying to warn Steve to stay away from Yolanda for a while now. He just doesn't heed the warning. Listen, Yolanda is fun. I get why he hangs out with her, but she's toxic. It's as simple as that.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Josh with Bridgewater Roofing. We can't prevent severe weather from happening this season, but we'll be there for you with a solution when the storm hits.
If you need a new roof, general maintenance, or help navigating the insurance process, Bridgewater Roofing has you covered. We offer special warranties, maintenance plans, and even financing options to take care of you.
Come visit our showroom or visit our website, bridgewaterroofing.net.
Reputation, quality, and value too. Bridgewater Roofing takes care of you.
This is Buck Sexton. Join me and Clay Travis every weekday from 11 till 2 right here on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Steve Scott along with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Good morning, Ray.
Hey, good morning, Steve. What's going on?
Well, it's already 78 at 7:25. Man, that's already a hot day today.
Yeah, was it like almost 80 already?
Yeah, it's almost
Something
80.
like that.
Can you believe that?
I see like upper 70s, and it's, yeah, like you said, we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour, and some of these numbers may actually be overnight record high low temperatures.
Oh, boy.
From this heat wave. So, everybody thinks daytime highs, and they're always thinking about, well, yeah, the high is going to be, 95, or is it going to be a record high for the day? But they also do track record high overnight low temperatures. I guess with this heat that we're experiencing, trying to pull out, maybe there's some positives to it. It's not like we're setting records. I mean, it was hot yesterday, 91. But the record will still stand at 103, and that was just a few years ago, last set in 2023.
Wow.
So I guess what I say there is that, believe it or not, it could be hotter. Today will be low, mid-90s across the region. Today's record is 100, also set in 2023. Now it's going to feel 100 or maybe even hotter than that. Thus, the advisories, and some in the state and off to the west and south either have heat advisories or extreme heat warnings. But I guess the good news out of it is that it's not record-setting, but still it's very dangerous and very uncomfortable. I don't want to de-emphasize that.
Well, also, if you have your vehicle parked like in the sunlight for most of the day today, it gets with the windows up, it gets very hot very quickly. In fact, you can almost bake a pan of chocolate chip cookies. That'd be pretty good. Just put it there and let it sit all day.
Yeah, you could, because you get in, you're kind of like, wow, it says like 110 or 115 or even hotter too. And, that's a great point too. Let's not forget, not only us, but don't forget about the elderly and the pets. And don't forget about the kids too. Hot car deaths from children being left in hot cars has been on the rise over the years too. So certainly got to remember that. And I don't see a break in this heat through the upcoming holiday weekend. There may be a thunder shower toward the end of the weekend, but until then, it's going to be sunny and hot. Today with sunshine, we get the 95, heat index 105, maybe hotter in spots. Carbon copy tomorrow, and same thing on Thursday and Friday in the mid-90s. That's air temperatures. The feels-like temperature around 105 with the humidity. And the overnight lows, not a bunch of relief. Will be in the mid-70s. And for the 4th of July, 95 with sunshine, maybe some storms on Sunday and Monday. Might take temperatures down to maybe the low 90s. So I don't know if that makes anybody feel any better, but at least maybe a break from the real hot stuff and trying to bring us back closer to normal, which is right around 90 degrees.
Well, I know what's keeping the temperatures so warm at night. I saw a full moon last night. That moonlight was really keeping it warm.
Yeah, strawberry moon, actually. Yep.
Oh, it was a strawberry moon. I thought it had kind of a strange red color to it.
Yeah. Well, it's that. Believe it or not, there might even be some Saharan dust that's gotten this far north from the latest that's come off the coast of Africa. So that could be a piece of it, too.
Well, the other thing, right now they've got the heat advisory in effect all the way through Friday night at 9. I'm looking at the forecast for Saturday, and I'm kind of wondering if they might actually extend it another day.
Yeah, they could. They could extend it. They'll probably make that determination midweek by tomorrow. Either way, not much is going to change. So, we get the advisory as that little extra reminder, But I would still say this through Saturday and even Sunday, we're still going to be in 90, and it's still going to feel close to 100, maybe even hotter, especially on the 4th.
All right. We'll be keeping an eye out for that. Ray, thanks for joining us this
Okay.
morning.
All right, guys. Take care.
Talk to you later, Ray. That was KZRG's meteorologist Ray Stajic with that little hot weather outlook. Not great if you don't like the heat, I'll tell you that much.
Thankfully, we work in air conditioning, getting those people from France all upset.
Mm-hmm. Coming up in less than 2 minutes here, an update on the Charlie Kirk murder trial. That's coming up in less than 2 minutes on News Talk KZRG.
At 7:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
A hearing in the Charlie Kirk murder case.
The Supreme Court wrapping up their term.
A massive state budget.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heat advisory through at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. Heading for a high of 95 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 7:38. Sunshine, 77 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. It's 78 in Carthage, 78 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG.
A key hearing is set next week for the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk's parents and widow, Erica Kirk, are expected to attend Monday's hearing. It's expected to take several days and will center around whether there's enough evidence against Tyler Robinson to proceed to a trial. Robinson, who has not entered a plea, is charged with aggravated murder in the September killing of Kirk, a conservative activist who was shot while addressing a crowd at Utah Valley University. Prosecutors have said they plan to introduce forensic data, surveillance video, and alleged messages from Robinson admitting to the crime. They've also said they'll seek the death penalty if Robinson is convicted. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The U.S. Supreme Court finishing out its term this year with several imminent decisions expected to be released today, including a case that will shape the future of women's sports and transgender rights.
The Supreme Court will decide whether Idaho and West Virginia's laws preventing transgender athletes from participating in girls' and women's school sports teams can stand. Two transgender athletes allege the measures are unconstitutional and violate Title IX, a federal law which prohibits sex discrimination in education. State officials argue athletes who are born male have a biological advantage over females on the playing field. The court's ruling is expected to impact similar laws in more than 24 Republican-led states. The justices are also set to hand down remaining opinions on cases related to birthright citizenship and campaign finance. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
California's legislature and Governor Gavin Newsom approve a $352 billion state budget for the next fiscal year.
California's tax revenue has grown faster than expected, allowing for a budget that eliminates a projected deficit for the next 2 years, adds to reserve funds, softens or delays proposed cuts to social service programs, and increases funding for childcare. There's also money meant to help the state speed up its notoriously slow mail-in ballot counting process. The budget caps business tax credits, raises the tax rate for commercial healthcare providers, and adds a sales tax on computer software. Governor Newsom says after signing it, to anyone who's been told that responsibility and ambition can't share the same balance sheet, come to California. State Republicans accuse the governor and Democrats of rushing the process and delaying rather than solving long-term budget problems. Chris Foster, Fox News.
78 with sunshine, 734 News Talk, KZRG.
She stole a Jasper County Jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The 2 deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Amendment 5, Missourians are going to be deciding on getting rid of the state's income tax on the August 4th ballot. Americans for Prosperity wants to see it pass, even though opponents say it's going to hurt the poor.
I think it's essentially a misunderstanding of, how our taxing structure is in Missouri, and also just kind of the economics of the budget.
Now, those who showed up to a Q&A at Joplin City Hall simply wanted to know more. You can read more in the KZRG app. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 78, 735. News Talk, KZRG.
7th Street between Rangeline and Florida Avenue will be closed for construction starting next Monday, July 6th from 8 in the evening and running in the overnight hours through till 6 the next morning. Crews will be installing stormwater drainage at Ozark Street. This is all part of the 7th Street facelift.
The Presidential 1776 Award celebrates America's brightest young civic scholars.
From the U.S. Department of Education, led by Secretary Linda McMahon, the Presidential 1776 Awards, hosted by Mario Lopez, is a national student competition recognizing excellence in American founding history. High schoolers from every state competed in a first-round online impossible civics test, with the top scorers advancing to 5 regional semifinals, and then those winners will be competing in the national final in Washington, D.C., with $250,000 in scholarships at stake. The competition airing tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS, streaming tomorrow on Paramount+. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
Someone from the area is going pro, according to Joe Morgan.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Liberatore gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your News, a service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main in Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 8 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 77 Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. It's 78 in Carl Junction, 78 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 7:39.
When your family needs a dentist, you deserve a place that truly cares. Access Family Care in Lamar is welcoming new dental patients of all ages with short wait times. We accept all Missouri Medicaid plans. Visit accessfamilycare.org to request your family's dental appointments today. accessfamilycare.org.
At Access Family Care, you're never alone out there. We buy guns, oh yes, we buy guns. Oh yes, we are the best. Oh yes, we buy guns. Oh yes.
This is Liberty Tree Guns, the best place to sell your firearms. Walk in with a gun. Walk out with money.
We buy guns. Oh yes, we buy guns. Oh yes, we are the best. Oh yes, we buy guns.
Good morning, everybody. Titillating Ted and sexy sultry Steve. I wonder if ACB will disappoint us again. Hey, Tim. Good morning to you, Tim.
Good morning, Tim.
Tim says, my sweet potato plants are doing great. They thrive in the heat. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's good news. What are you guys up to for the 4th? 4th day July. Oh, I know MSSU is hosting their big show. I'm trying to decide. I was trying to decide last night if I'm probably not going to go to the MSSU show, just to be honest. I was looking into going to either Springfield or Branson, but I couldn't help but notice that Branson does not have a whole lot of land-based fireworks shows. A lot of them are surrounding the lake. I don't have a boat. So I might go to Springfield. Or maybe I will go to the MSSU show. I don't know.
Electric Cooperative, your Touchstone Energy partner.
Hey, it's Mark Levin with The Mark Levin Show. Be sure to tune in every weekday from 5 to 8 on FM 102.9, 105.9, and AM 1310. News Talk KZRG.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
It is going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. And that's going to be pretty much every single day the rest of the week, even on July the 4th on Saturday. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s up to the mid-90s, and that's for the daytime highs. The overnight lows are going to be in the upper 70s to even possibly near 80 for the overnight lows. And boy, with the humidity, it's going to make it feel a lot hotter. Each day the heat index could be from 100 to 105. Therefore, we have a heat advisory in effect until at least Friday night at 9 o'clock. So if you have neighbors that are elderly, be sure to check up on them, make sure they're doing okay, make sure they're keeping it as cool as possible. And if you need to find a local area cooling center, just dial 211. You can find out where the nearest cooling centers are located at.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG. Of course, you can get all things weather updates on the Zimmer Storm Center app, totally free to download in the App Store. Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. We're going to be talking about it all week. Just a little reminder for you, with Independence Day happening this weekend, I know you're probably chomping at the bit to get your fireworks, and in a lot of Missouri areas and cities and counties and whatnot, you probably have already done so. But different cities have different rules about when you can and can't buy fireworks, when you can and cannot set off fireworks. Now, the Missouri Department of Public Safety, they allow permanent stores to sell fireworks all year round. A permanent store is defined more or less as a brick and mortar location, a physical location.
Correct.
Now, seasonal tents in the state of Missouri can operate from June 20th through July 10th. However, local cities have the legal right to enforce even tighter restrictions if they choose to do so. And pretty much every city chooses to do so, at least to some level. Now, in Joplin, fireworks sales are permitted within Joplin city limits starting tomorrow and goes until Saturday, July 4th. You cannot legally buy fireworks in the city of Joplin today, nor can you on Sunday, but you can in between those days. Fireworks can be deployed from July 1st through July 4th from noon until 11 in the evening. So just keep that in mind. In Carthage, seasonal street stands in Carthage are permitted to sell fireworks during the full state window from June 20 to July 10th, which, if you're a big firework head, you've probably already gotten your load for the year.
Oh, more than likely. Or you're just getting your first load, getting ready to go back for more.
7:45 is the KZRG news time. So that's Carthage's rules. Now, residents can legally fire fireworks off from June 30th. So starting today, Carthage, get those lighters ready. And in Carthage, you can fire them off until July 5th. Now, the window is a little bit wider than Joplin's, this in Carthage. You can fire them off from 9 in the morning until 11 in the evening. So they get about 3 extra hours of shooting them off. Though I will say, I cannot imagine your neighbors would like you.
With the exception, though, July the 4th, you can go until 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning on July 1st, or excuse me, July the 4th in Carthage. I cannot imagine your neighbors would like you if you're setting off fireworks in Carthage at 9:01 a.m.
No.
And I can't even imagine it's worth it. How pretty can that be? The sun is shining. You can't see them.
That's very, very true.
So I don't know. Webb City, you can buy fireworks starting tomorrow, July 1st, through midnight, July 4th. So at 11:59 p.m., you could still get in line and buy fireworks on July 4th in Webb City. Now, fireworks may be set off from 9 in the morning to 11 in the evening, July 1st through the 4th in Webb City, so very similar to that of Carthage. In Neosho, roadside stands can sell fireworks for the entire state window. That's June 20th through July 5th. The state window is until July 10th. So in Neosho, they sell them until July 5th. So slightly shorter than the whole state window. But in Neosho, you can fire fireworks off between the hours of 7 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Neosho, what are you doing, brother?
7 in the morning, yes.
7 in the morning, yes? Steve says early bird gets the firework.
Well, I'm already up and working at 7 in the morning.
Well, it's not all about you, Steve.
I go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, so it's 7 at night. Geez.
It's not all about you, Steve. Most normal Americans are just getting up at that time. How would you like getting woken up to the sound of combat in the skies above your home?
It happens every single year, and also at New Year's, when they do it again at New Year's.
Yeah, Neosho, listen, little free advice for you here. Shift those times. No one's shooting fireworks off at 7 in the morning, and if they are the bane of society's existence. And 10 in the p.m., shift that to at least midnight. I mean, come on. That's when it's the witching hour for fireworks. That's when it gets dark. That's when you want to see fireworks. But anyway, that's Neosho. Carl Junction, a.k.a. CJ. Temporary stands are authorized to sell fireworks from June 25th through July 5th, and the city limits for residential shooting, the restrictions, are only open to a 5-day window. So you can only fire those fireworks off within city limits of Carl Junction from July 1st through July 5th. And Night Owls got a little bit more flexibility within Carl Junction because they allow deployment until midnight for the entire time, which is the widest thing. Most of them shut off at around 11. Carl Junction, midnight across the board.
I live in the Carl Junction area, and apparently
What's your address?
I'm not going to give that out over the air, but
West?
In a part of Carl Junction.
A part of it?
But it must be
what
near.
It must be
near the city limits, because somebody from outside the city limits goes well after midnight every single year on July the 4th.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. So anyway, all the details can be found at newstalkkzrg.com. Another local story for you. We talked about it a little bit earlier this morning, but something you need to keep in mind. Some major road work coming to the west portion of Joplin starting next week. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road in the west part of Joplin will be closed as crews start building a brand new roundabout. This will be a full-blown closure for at least 2 months. No lane reduction. No, well, maybe I'll shimmy on through. Nope, got to find a different route. Now, this part of the city is sort of near Twin Hills Golf Course. That's in that area. There's that billiards shop that's near that area as well. You might run into this intersection if you frequently travel to Galena through the back roads. If you don't want to get on the highway or the interstate, whatever you call it. If you don't want to get on that, there's a back road route that I know a lot of people take to get to Galena. That's where that is. This is West 20th Street and Central City Road, that intersection, new roundabouts going there. Starting next Monday is that construction, full-blown closure. Keep that in mind. It's going to be going on for about 2 months.
Yeah, I wonder if they've already got the roundabout opened up there at 20th and Black Cat.
Listen, I'll tell you what. The Four States area, we got a lot of roundabouts. We got the Diamond. It's about time that we finally get some balls and make a loop-de-loop. I want a road.
Loop-de-loop.
I want a road where you go so fast that you jet up into the air and zip around like a roller coaster. I want a loop-de-loop road in the Four States for
Isn't
crying
that
out
what
loud.
they're doing on 7th Street in this 2.5-year construction zone?
They're adding a roller coaster style loop-de-loop?
Sure.
They better. KZRG News Time 7:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The U.S. Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. The president, who predicted that the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation's waiting on pins and needles.
Number 2.
A prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's Prison transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin, as we were just talking about, starting on Monday, July the 6th. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road, about a mile to the west of Twin Hills Golf Course, will be closed for the construction of a brand new roundabout. Now, the closure will last for about 2 months.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
The Supreme Court of the United States ruled mail-in ballots received after Election Day can count if they're postmarked before Election Day. What are your thoughts on this? We want to know. Text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, what on earth is going on with your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos? And today's question should be easy. It's a holdover from yesterday. That's coming up in less than 5 minutes on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. A heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact: in the state Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical ideologies to be taught in public schools. Fact: when it came time to actually pass the bill that delivered President Trump's school choice agenda, protections for homeschool families, better pay for teachers, and increased funding for public schools, Senator Jill Carter walked away. Stack the facts up, and it's clear to see that Senator Jill Carter isn't fighting for the issues that matter most to us.
Call State Senator Jill Carter and tell her to stop voting against Missouri parents and President Trump's agenda. 573-751-2173. Paid for by American Federation for Children, Inc.
Mom!
Yeah?
Where does the bath drain go?
Why?
I was given my favorite Lego man a bath, and he went down the drain. So I sent a guy in after him, and a guy after him, and now the water won't go down.
When you got a clog that can't be beat. When your shower water is above your feet. When you flush that bowl and it makes you frown. Bring
River makes that drain go down.
Hi, this is Nathan Terry. Let Spring River Drain and Sewer take the stress out of clogged pipes and backed up sewer lines. Whether it's toys, grease, roots, or years of buildup, our team has the tools and experience to clear the problem fast. And we do it right the first time. We charge flat rate pricing, not by the hour, so you know the price before we even show up. Call Spring River Drain and Sewer and get started on fixing your sewer or drains today. Schedule an appointment at springriverdrain.com, and remember,
Spring River makes that drain go down.
Everyone knows where everyone goes, where futures are made with financial aid. Start a career in less than a year. It's time for change, so change it here. Franklin Tech, for the career that you expect. Franklin Tech, get with the program.
Sure, you have a job. It pays the bills. But are you ready for something more? Ready for better opportunities? Now is the time to enroll at Franklin Tech Adult Education. You can register today to pursue a new career in the medical field in nursing, respiratory therapy, dental assisting, and more. Or get hands-on training and get certified in a trade like welding, automotive technology, or HVAC. And you can still work to pay the bills while you get your education. Start loving what you do. Registration is open right now, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Get started now at FranklinTechnologyCenter.com. That's FranklinTechnologyCenter.com. You can do this. A better career starts here.
Franklin Tech, for the career that you expect. Franklin Tech, get with the program.
Ozark Memorial Park Crematory is opening a new location in Neosho. They're proud to service the Neosho area with the same compassionate and loving care that has set the standard in Joplin. In 2025, they were blessed to serve over 1,000 families and hope to help many more through their most difficult times, caring for your loved ones as if they were their own. Learn more at Ozark Memorial Park Cemetery and Crematory.com. Ozark Memorial Park, where care doesn't end and family always comes first.
If it makes the establishment nervous, we're talking about it. Hi, this is Vince Colonnese. Join me tonight at 8, right after Mark Levin on News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
To win, be the first on the phone with the correct answer to the question. 417-782-1310. 417-782-1310. 10. What is the carryover question?
Today's question is a question in honor of America 250 anniversary that's happening this weekend. It's a U.S. history trivia question, and it is the same question that we had yesterday because we didn't get a winner yesterday. Here's the question from yesterday. That is the question today. Who was the first person to actually sign the United States Constitution on September 17th, 1787? The United States Constitution ratified 1787. Who was the first person to actually sign it? 417-782-1310. Who was the first person to actually sign the United States Constitution in the year of our Lord, 1787? 417-782-1310. A lot of sevens this morning, don't we?
Oh, that means it's a lucky guess.
I suppose so. Steve, what are we giving away?
Complimentary taco plus chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos, and it looks like we got a caller.
Who was the first person to actually sign the Constitution of the United States on September 17th, 1787? 417-782-1310. News Talk KZRG, what is your guess?
George Washington.
That's exactly right. George Washington was the first to sign it, the United States Constitution, because he was the president of the Constitutional Convention at the time. Who do we have here?
Jim.
Hey, Jim, what's your favorite radio station?
KZRG.
Oh, love to hear it, my man. Love to hear it. Stay on the horn for us here if you don't mind, Jim. We'll be with you in just a second here. And you have just won a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. Stay on the line with us here, Jim. Yeah, George Washington was the first to sign that bad boy. Look at that.
And he didn't even chop down the cherry tree, as folklore says.
I never understood that. I know that that's George Washington's folklore, but then why do they call him Honest Abe? Because Abraham Lincoln was the Honest Abe. If he was so honest, why is George Washington the guy that can't tell a lie? I don't understand that.
I don't know either.
It seems like those two stories should be combined. They should just pick one. I guess we have two presidents that were the most honest in human history. Who knows?
That's true.
How's the weather, Steve?
It's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. High today is about 93 to 95. And the heat index between 100 and 105. That means the heat advisory is going to stay in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. I think it's going to probably be extended at least till Saturday night, more than likely. That's according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Chris Plant joining us at 9. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. They'll be cracking the mic at 11. Sean Hannity at 2. Mark Levin at 5. Coming up in less than 10 minutes at around 8:10. The Supreme Court had issued a pretty major ruling when it comes to elections. That's coming up in less than 10 minutes.
The four states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXT, HD2, Joplin. A free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 8 o'clock.
They have 4 cases left to decide. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and the Supreme Court will give us those rulings next hour and wrap up this term. The most anticipated one involves birthright citizenship. So important to the president, he made history attending the hearing on the case, challenging the Trump executive order to prevent babies born in the U.S. with parents illegally here from becoming Americans.
There's a lot of discussion about the fact that there are billions of people around the world who could be one flight away from coming here and having a child that would then automatically have citizenship. There was discussion of birth tourism. But even amidst all of that, Chief Justice Roberts at one point during the argument said the world may have changed, but the Constitution hasn't. Listen, by reading the tea leaves, we think, and it's just an educated guess, that he's writing the opinion. We will know shortly, and we'll see what the decision is.
Fox's Shannon Bream outside the court. Another case involves challenges to bans on transgender athletes playing in girls' and women's sports. The polls are just opening in Colorado, where it's primary day, and socialist candidates are hoping to do what some did last week in New York and defeat incumbent Democrats.
Senator John Hickenlooper's fending off a primary challenge from Julie Gonzalez, who's backed by the Denver chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. In the 1st Congressional District, the Denver DSA has backed Milat Kiros, who is challenging incumbent Representative Diana DeGette.
And Jessica Rosenthal. The U.S. and Iran are talking again, but not directly. Following days of fighting around the Strait of Hormuz, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner there in Qatar for mediator-brokered negotiations. After the deal signed, extended the ceasefire and allowed Iran to sell oil again. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just told Fox only China is buying it, no one else yet.
Because the buyers are a little leery of, will it be re-sanctioned? Will I get in trouble with Treasury? So this is a reason for the Iranians really to embrace these negotiations.
Oil prices are up slightly this morning. WTI still a little higher than before the Iran conflict started, but Brent crude's fallen back below those levels. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG, heat advisory through 9 o'clock on Friday. Heading for a high of 93 to 95 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 8:08. Sunshine, 77 in Neosho, 79 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Galena, 80 in Joplin, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk, KZRG. She stole a Jasper County Jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The 2 deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main, and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Should we get rid of Missouri's income tax and replace it with sales taxes? You'll decide on Amendment 5 and on the August 4th ballot in Missouri. A Q&A session at Joplin City Hall last night brought a lot of opinions in.
I was just at Hobby Lobby this afternoon, and I looked at my receipt, and I looked up, city, county, state, and district tax, and I looked, and that's already between 10 and 11%. So, maybe we'd be better off in the end, but we just don't know.
All the details on this story can be found at newstalkkzrg.com.
Several days of triple-digit heat index values are expected in Missouri this week. The Kansas City area and parts of northern and western Missouri are under an extreme heat warning. Now, that's while much of southern Missouri remains under a heat advisory. National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Wise says it's not just the heat, but how long it's going to stick around that has forecasters concerned.
Especially for multiple days in a row is what leads those heat impact risks. So that's why we have the heat advisory out through the week for the prolonged nature of the heat index values of 100 to 105.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 80, it's now going on 805. News Talk, KZRG.
A teenager has died after a motorcycle crashed near Tipton Ford over the weekend. It happened Sunday afternoon on Elder Road when troopers say 19-year-old from Joplin had crossed the center line and hit a pickup truck. The victim's name has not yet been made public.
As lawmakers warn of another government shutdown could happen this fall, Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley says Congress should take shutdowns off of the table entirely.
They should not happen. We should prevent this ridiculous game of chicken that politicians like to play when they don't do their job. I'm totally against a government shutdown. I always have been. I've never voted for one. I've never supported one, and I sure as heck won't support one this fall.
The current funding deadline expires September 30th, leaving lawmakers just a few months to reach a budget deal and avoid a potential shutdown. A gorilla is in the sports, according to Joe Morgan.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Liberatore gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your News is service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main in Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pojorquez.
Next news, 8:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast, and not a bunch changing. Clear mornings and sunny, hot, humid afternoons with a gusty south breeze around low 90s through at least midweek. Heat index values near 100 or hotter with a heat advisory. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Millwood Co-Roofing and Construction. When severe weather hits, choose the professionals at Millwood to repair and protect your roof and everything under it. For details and to receive a quote, visit millwoodcojoplin.com.
No rain showing up this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 77 with sunshine in Neosho, 79 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Carthage, 80 in Joplin. News Talk, KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 8:08.
Uh-oh, the power's out. My phone's at 2%.
Everyone, stay calm.
Daniel, you're the only one screaming.
I know. I can't find my flashlight, beef jerky, or emergency storm Crocs.
Dad must have found everything, because now he's in there negotiating with the breaker box. Mom's hiding by the refrigerator trying to keep the cold air from escaping. Your point? We're not losing a single chicken nugget.
Wait, what's that beautiful sound?
The lights are back. The air conditioner is working. The nuggets are saved.
Folks, summer storms around here can knock your power out faster than Jenna can empty the snack cabinet.
Hey!
And the heat can make your house feel hotter than going down the metal slide in elementary school.
That's why IPOC Electric and Solar installs dependable whole home generators so your family stays cool, comfortable, and powered up when storms roll through. No more flashlight scavenger hunts. No more charging your phone in the truck.
Call IPOC Electric and Solar today.
When the power goes out, don't sweat it. Just IPOC it.
IPOC Electric and Solar, keeping your family and business powered through every storm.
All right, kids, brace yourselves. This year, your old man is putting on the greatest 4th of July fireworks show this town has ever seen.
Dad, no. Please don't.
Come on, I've got smoke smoke bombs, sparklers, this thing called a tiny turtle fountain.
Not the tiny turtle fountain again.
Dad, we went inside before it was even over.
Well, this year I've got 2 tiny turtle fountains.
Gee, Dad, save some excitement for the rest of us, would you?
Fine. Where would you get your fireworks?
Big Charlie's.
Obviously.
Big Charlie's.
Huge selection.
Better prices.
Bigger mortars.
Bigger everything.
Bigger than 2 tiny turtle fountains?
Dad!
Don't be the tiny turtle fountain guy. Get to Big Charlie's Fireworks and load up on enough fireworks to really impress your family. The biggest store with the biggest selection and the biggest savings. Big Charlie's on East 32nd Street across from Flying J. Big Charlie's Fireworks.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Plumbers, today will be a good day. You will be profitable. Your clients will be nice. No one will stand over you and tell you how to fix the thing they actually hired you to fix. You will also feel at peace after switching to Progressive, America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 National Premium Data.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
The latest is always heard on News Talk KZRG. Broadcasting from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio, this is News Talk KZRG. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Heat advisory all week long until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. May get extended, maybe. It's going to be sunny and hot every single day this week with a high today 93 to 95. Heat index as high as 100 to 105. Same for tomorrow, same for Thursday, same for Friday, even pretty close to same for Saturday, we're thinking. At night, not going to get much cooler with the overnight lows in the 75 to 76 range, so not much relief at the overnight hours as well. That's all according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
And we have a little bit of an update on something we were talking about earlier. This is the construction on West 20th Street. First off, yes, the intersection of 20th and Black Cat Road, that's Country Club Road also, or Country Club Drive, is open to north and southbound through traffic following the construction of the roundabout. Now, the east-west traffic, a different story because the construction there is still continuing on West 20th Street, both east and west of that intersection. But again, 20th Street and Black Cat Road, the north and southbound through traffic is open once again.
Yeah, that's for that roundabout they were building, right?
Yeah, that's for the first roundabout.
Yeah.
Now, the second one starts next week at 20th and Black Cat Road. That's 1 mile further to the west.
Yeah, exactly. Starting Monday, there's going to be yet another closure on West 20th and Central City Road over by the Twin Hills Golf Course, sort of near that billiard store that's out there. You might run into it if you're taking the back roads to Galena. They're building a second roundabout. That construction starting on Monday.
Which, by the way, that was actually Central City Road was one of the detours during the construction of the first roundabout. Now it's going to be out of commission.
Growing pains, right, Steve?
What fun it is. Now all we need is, like what you said, we need a loop-de-loop.
We need a loop-de-loop, like a roller coaster. We have diamonds, we have roundabouts. Why not get a loop-de-loop on the roadways?
Why not?
If we're going to be silly about it, might as well have some fun with it, too. All right, moving on from there. The Supreme Court of the United States made a ruling upholding a Mississippi law. That's Mississippi, Steve, in case you were curious.
How do you spell that?
That's Mississippi. A Mississippi law allowing mail-in ballots postmarked by Election Day to be counted up to 5 days after the polls close. Now, at the core of this case was a 2024 lawsuit called Watson versus RNC. And basically, the RNC had sued Mississippi because they have this 5-day grace period for mail-in ballots. Mississippi had a rule that said We count ballots. We count mail-in ballots up to 5 days after Election Day, so long as the postmark was issued on Election Day or before Election Day. That was their rule. The RNC did not like this for a myriad of reasons. They challenged it. That challenge jumped all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Mississippi, saying that is allowed, and ruled against the RNC.
Yeah, now I wonder one thing, though. You know, the postmarks are supposed to be done by the post office itself. I wonder how secure they keep those postmark machines.
It's a good question. It's a great question.
Good question.
Now, this is a 5-4 ruling, so it was pretty close. It was by no means unanimous. In a 5-4 ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, who are considered conservative, they sided with some of the other judges that are considered to be more liberal in this, which, of course, not everybody was all excited about that. Now, Amy Coney Barrett wrote in the majority hearing, or ruling, I should say, she said, quote, and this was their argument. So I'm just reporting the news here. This is how they argued it. She said, quote, the framers recognized the difficulty of crafting election laws applicable to every probable change in the situation of the country. So instead of constitutionalizing election law, they decided that a discretionary power over election needed to be lodged somewhere. Suffice to say that that power was lodged not in this court. The Election Day statutes say nothing about ballot receipt, and we cannot add words that Congress chose, end quote. So she's just saying, from what she wrote, it sounds to me like she's just saying, we, the court, don't get to decide on this. This is up to Congress to strengthen the language and Congress to pass the rules.
Well, we know they're going to get right on it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They're on vacation.
So close.
Missed it by that much.
That much. So that was Amy Coney Barrett's argument, was that we just don't get a say in it. That discretionary power was not put in this court based on the way the Constitution was written. It is up for Congress to decide. From that, it doesn't necessarily seem to me, personally, like Amy Coney Barrett is all in on mail-in balloting and all in on post-election mail-in counting or anything. She's just saying the way that it's written, this court doesn't get a say.
But then again, you have to look at it this way. Josh Hawley's been in the news talking about the mail slowing down the delivery in rural areas. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine now if election gets postmarked before the election or by election day, but then it's slowed down by the postal system get there, so it might get there in 5 days, might get there in 10 days. You never know because of it. But as long as it's postmarked,
well,
by the correct
so
day.
The Mississippi law gives a 5-day grace period. So if it shows up 10 days later, with this case that they were talking about, it wouldn't count.
With this case, but there are some states that allow it whenever it comes in, like California.
So by that logic, wouldn't it make more sense for conservatives to like a larger grace period because rural areas tend to vote conservative, and if the mail truly is that slow, disproportionately impacting rural areas, then their votes would be less likely to make it in time.
But
so conservative votes don't get counted.
But
wouldn't, by the logic you just played out, conservatives want a longer grace period for mail-in ballots?
But can you trust the Democrats not to stuff the ballot or the mailboxes?
That doesn't have anything to do with how slow the mail is, though.
Well, if they stuff the mailboxes with ballots for the Democrats in the different areas, you never know.
Yes.
I understand what you're
that's
saying.
A different argument, and I agree with that argument.
It's a different argument.
There's concerns about
concerns.
the ballot drop boxes. Of course, there's concern about stuffing. There's concerns about that. Has nothing to do with the grace period for arrival, and that has nothing to do with the speed of the mail.
And in Mississippi, it's 5 days.
Okay. All right. So moving on from there, Justice Samuel Alito, who also is considered a conservative, he did not like this ruling. He ruled against it. He was one of the 4 people that said no. And he argued that accepting late-arriving ballots, quote, effectively postpones the date on which the electorate's choice is made, and federal law precludes that postponement, end quote. He argues that the law defines when Election Day is, and by allowing a grace period, we are effectively not actually electing anybody on that day. We have to wait up to 5 days to elect people in certain areas.
That's true.
That was his argument, and that was the argument of the minority in this case. Now, he went on to say that he thinks that the majority, that is the 5 judges that ruled in favor of allowing this Mississippi law to count mail-in ballots up to 5 days after polls close, so long as they're postmarked on or before Election Day. He said that those judges were operating under a, quote, flawed understanding of the election statutes, and that the ruling creates a serious risk of further undermining public confidence in our elections and our system of self-government, end quote. So he basically thinks that this sets off a negative vibe.
Well, I think the way it's written, I'd say it's not done with the Supreme Court in the future. I think the future will bring it back before the Supreme Court.
Right, exactly. So we'll see what happens.
It'll, of course, be in a different venue, but yes, I do see it coming again to the court.
Maybe. Who knows? Chris Plant joining us at 9. He's going to have a lot to say about this. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, they'll be here at 11. They'll also have a lot to say about it. I know they will. Sean Hannity at 2, Mark Levin at 5, and The Vin Show coming to you live every single weeknight starting at 8. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 8:20.
And now, KZRG's Big 3 on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The U.S. Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. Now, the president predicted that the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation waits on pens and needles.
Number 2.
A prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's prisoner transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin starting on Monday, July the 6th. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road near the Twin Hills Golf Course will be closed for construction of a brand new roundabout. Now, the closure will last about 2 months.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
We're just talking about it. What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court ruling regarding mail-in ballots? Coming up in less than 5 minutes, Kim Commando with a look at technology on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. A heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin. There aren't any dentists around here that are open consistently on Saturday or Friday for that matter. So I saw a need. I grew up blue collar. Sometimes you can't waste some PTO or vacation day on going to the dentist. You get a lot of grateful people, a lot of grateful families that can actually get their work done on Saturday or Friday. And these girls have bought into that vision. When I bought the practice, I named the practice Team Dental of Joplin. I understand that no large undertaking is done alone. It has to be done with an amazing team. I really feel like they're the hardest working staff in all 4 states because we're all sacrificing time from our families to help our community out. It means something to me. It means something to them. I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
Team Dental of Joplin, your neighborhood practice for your whole family.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your saving? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SHELTER to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SHELTER to the number 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898.
Nikki, I haven't seen a lineup this hot since they stopped printing those swimsuit magazines.
Neo, get off Only Horns.
I'm talking about BuffaloRun.com. They've turned the excitement up to 11.
And while everybody else is sitting at home scrolling, we're chowing down on 66-cent ribs and wings and pulling an all-nighter at Neo's Tiki Bar.
Honey, my weekends at Buffalo Run give me more action than my first year at college. Ow!
Don't wait and read about it online.
Experience it yourself.
Let the good times run at Buffalo Run Casino.
Here's a story you don't hear very often. Ford bet that artificial intelligence could do the work of its most experienced engineers. Well, that backfired hard. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN. With one click, ExpressVPN keeps your online activity private and secure. Get 4 extra months at expressvpn.com/Kim. So Ford spent 3 years quietly bringing the humans back. About 350 rehired or pulled from suppliers. And here's the gut punch, straight from Ford's Vice President of Vehicle Hardware Engineering. He admits they didn't respect the experience of their best people. Mistakenly, he says, they figured just feeding AI the design specs would spit out a quality car. It didn't. Ford led the country in recalls. Then the graybeards came back. And just like that, Ford hit #1 in J.D. Power quality for the first time in 16 years. AI is a fantastic tool, but it's not ready for the top jobs. Join a million folks who get my free newsletter every single morning. Sign up now at getkim.com. AI is changing the world, and there's no question it's making technology smarter, but it's also making it easier than ever for companies to learn more about you through your online activity. Websites you visit, searches you run, and apps you use can reveal more about you than you realize. That's just one reason I use ExpressVPN. It encrypts my internet connection to help keep my personal information more secure online. Whether I'm checking email or shopping online, I know ExpressVPN is quietly working in the background. I also like how super easy it is to use. Really, one tap on my phone, laptop, desktop, or tablet, and I'm connected. Plus, one subscription now covers up to 14 devices at once. That's enough to protect your entire household. Best of all, it comes with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So take your online privacy seriously with ExpressVPN. Right now, get 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. expressvpn.com/Kim.
Hey, it's Chris Plant. Be sure to tune in to FM 102.9, AM 1310 every weekday from 9 to 11 for breaking news, commentary, and politics. News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Just before 8:30 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. And if you woke up this morning and thought to yourself, well, I haven't heard any word of severe weather or storms or complete and total wind out, so we must have good weather, you would be dead wrong.
Well, it's good weather if you like heat.
It's good weather if you like stress testing and training for hell.
That's true.
The weather
That's
that we
true.
have in the 4 states this week.
With the weather we have, make sure to check up on your elderly neighbors. Make sure that they're doing okay. I normally get up about 3 in the morning.
So set your alarm for around 3:15 to give Steve a ring and make sure he's doing all right.
Yeah, make sure I'm doing all right. It's going to be sunny, hot, sunny and hot every single day all the way through July the 4th. And the actual high is going to be in the low to mid 90s all the way through, with the heat indexes in the 100 to 105 range most days. Therefore, we have a heat advisory in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. And the overnight lows are not going to be that cool. They're going to be in the mid 70s every single night. You're going to get to see the bright sunshine during the day, and you're going to get to see a full moon, it looks like, this week. I think it's called the strawberry full moon at night. So keep that in mind. That, according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. And drink plenty of fluids. And if you need to, go to cooling centers. Take it easy. Don't do anything massively hard to do and labor intensive outside if you can help it.
Yeah, generally speaking, health officials recommend that if you do have to do any physical labor outdoors or anything to do outdoors, either do them real early in the morning before the peak of the day heat, or later in the evening, possibly even in the overnight hours, just as a way of helping keep yourself nice and safe. The other thing to keep in mind, energy drinks. I know that a lot of people depend on them. Caffeine is probably one of the most common and addictive drugs in this country. But the reality is that energy drinks certainly do not help you and your health.
No, they don't.
When it comes to extreme heat, they actually dehydrate you slightly and make it a little bit more difficult for you to get through the day. So consider drinking some high-quality, fine H2O.
That is very, very true. When I was much younger, there was one time as one of these hot spells like this, I think
that was during the forming of planet Earth, back when the planet was just a giant magma ball.
I drank a bunch of iced tea that day for my lunch, and then I went outside and decided to mow my yard in the middle of the afternoon.
Genius.
Stupid. I could tell. I had to end up going down and getting treated by a doctor for heat exhaustion that day.
Yeah,
so
don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, water is great. Electrolytes.
Take it from me.
Electrolytes are also great. Chris Plant joining us at 9, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at 11, Sean Hannity at 2, Mark Levin at 5. Hey, coming up in less than 10 minutes at around 8, less than 15 minutes at around 8:45, we are going to be talking about these scientists, these eggheads, if you will, did a little expedition in Antarctica, and they brought back something that they believe could potentially be the cure to melanoma, which is one of the most aggressive forms of skin cancer.
And by the way, it was cold there.
That's coming up in less than 15 minutes on News Talk KZRG.
At 8:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pahorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
High-profile murder cases.
Venezuela earthquakes.
U.S.-Iran talks.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Heat advisory in effect through 9 o'clock on Friday. Heading for a high of 93 to 95 today with a heat index of 100 to 105. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 8:38. Sunshine, 77 in Neosho, 79 in Pittsburgh. It's 80 in Webb City, 80 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG.
New updates in 2 high-profile murder cases.
Major changes in the trials of both Luigi Mangione and Alex Murdaugh. Starting with Mangione, a judge postponing his federal case for 4 months in order to give his defense team more time to focus on his state trial. Mangione's defense team fights charges in connection with the killing of a United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Then another high-profile murder case, Alex Murdaugh's murder trial, back to square one. This after the South Carolina Supreme Court threw out a previous life sentence for the killing of his wife and son. The court found that a county clerk influenced the jury and, as a result, ordered a new trial.
International rescue teams continue to aid recovery efforts in Venezuela after several deadly earthquakes struck the country. Nate Foy has more.
Time is running out to find survivors 6 days after this disaster. Rescue workers freed a young man from the rubble after a remarkable rescue. It took nearly 2 days to reach him. Meanwhile, the devastation in La Guaira is widespread. Thousands living on the streets. Many of them need medical care. And that's where Christian aid organization Samaritan's Purse steps in. Today, they're opening their largest field hospital to help those in need. Death toll over 1,700 now, thousands more displaced. U.S. Marines have reopened the port of La Guaira. They're also making trips between Venezuela and Curacao to bring badly needed supplies here.
Meanwhile, the U.S. and Iran resume peace talks in Qatar this week.
High-level talks will take place today in Doha, Qatar, aimed at advancing the Memorandum of Understanding between the United States and Iran. Special envoys Kushner and Witkoff will be in attendance and are expected to meet directly with the Qatari Prime Minister, according to a diplomat familiar with the talks. Technical talks about the MOU are then scheduled to take place on Wednesday. Iranian officials have indicated that no direct talks will take place between the United States and Iran while in Doha, but did confirm a delegation will be traveling to Qatar. The 60-day window is meant to iron out the details of Iran's nuclear program and keep the Strait of Hormuz open.
That was Trey Yinks. It's 8:33, 80 with sunshine. News Talk, KZRG.
Well, she stole a Jasper County jail transport van with 2 deputies locked in the back.
New charges, including kidnapping, have been filed against 40-year-old Erica Hess of Parsons, Kansas, after that incident Saturday morning. It started when Hess had to be taken to a local hospital for treatment when one deputy with her briefly went back inside the building. Now, he told investigators that when he got back, she had somehow moved into the driver's seat and started the van. The two deputies reportedly tried to force the door open and ordered her to stop, but instead, they got in the back of the van and were locked in there as she drove away, as they also pled for their lives trying to convince her to stop. She was finally stopped near 32nd and Main, and again now faces numerous felonies. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Amendment 5. Missourians are going to be deciding on getting rid of the state's income tax on the August 4th ballot. Americans for Prosperity wants to see it pass, even though opponents say it's going to hurt the poor.
I think it's essentially a misunderstanding of, how our taxing structure is in Missouri, and also just kind of the economics of the budget. And
those who showed up to the Q&A at Joplin City Hall simply wanted to know more. You can read more in the KZRG app. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 80 News Talk KZRG.
A Joplin licensed professional counselor accused of a child sex crime. Philip Klonowski was arrested just yesterday for allegedly sending explicit images to a law enforcement informant that he thought was a 14-year-old girl. He now faces a felony charge as the investigation in Wagner County, Oklahoma, continues.
The Presidential 1776 Award celebrates America's brightest young civic scholars.
From the U.S. Department of Education, led by Secretary Linda McMahon, the Presidential 1776 Awards, hosted by Mario Lopez, is a national student competition recognizing excellence in American founding history. High schoolers from every state competed in a first-round online impossible civics test, with the top scorers advancing to 5 regional semifinals, and then those winners will be competing in the national final in Washington, D.C., with $250,000 in scholarships at stake. The competition airing tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS, streaming tomorrow on Paramount+. Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
Is the gorilla going to become a pro? Joe Morgan's got the answer.
Former Gorillas softball standout Heather Arnett is officially headed to the pros. The former All-MIAA shortstop has agreed to terms with the Florida Vibe of the Professional Softball League and is expected to sign her contract later this week. Arnett makes history as the very first Pitt State softball player to ever turn professional. Up in Kansas City, the Red Hot Royals look to keep the magic alive tonight. Left-hander Noah Cameron takes the mound at Kauffman Stadium as the boys in blue hunt for another tick in the win column. First pitch against the Rays is set for 6:40 tonight. And across the state, Matthew Libator gets the ball for the Cardinals tonight. He'll look to bounce back on the road against the Atlanta Braves, a squad that has dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Game time from Atlanta is locked in for 6:15 tonight. Hear the live game action on AM 1230 The Talker. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, the service of Galena Liberty Pawn. Sell your unwanted gold and silver directly to the refiner for top dollar. They also sell gold and silver bullion. Galena Liberty Pawn, 708 South Main in Galena, Kansas. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 9 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The heat advisory will stay with us through Friday evening. Hot, humid weather, maybe a south breeze, but it's not going to help much over the next few days. Low 90s today and tomorrow. That's actual air temperatures. You factor in the humidity, feeling just over 100. Overnight lows will be warm too in the mid-70s. Thursday, Friday, mid-90s. Heat index 100 to 105, and most likely staying in the mid-90s for the 4th. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. Sunshine, 77 in Neosho, 79 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Columbus, it's 80 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 8:38.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact:
In the state Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical ideologies to be taught in public schools. Fact: when it came time to actually pass the bill that delivered President Trump's school choice agenda, protections for homeschool families, better pay for teachers, and increased funding for public schools, Senator Jill Carter walked away. Stack the facts up, and it's clear to see that Senator Jill Carter isn't fighting for the issues that matter most to us.
Call State Senator Jill Carter and tell her to stop voting against Missouri parents and President Trump's agenda. 573-751-2173. Paid for by American Federation for Children, Inc.
The Wisdom of the Praying Mantis, Chapter 2.
I will jump into the road,
said the adolescent insect.
No, young grasshopper, do not test the pavement, for you run the risk of being washed away in a hurricane. Car wash.
The praying mantis wisely replied.
I don't understand. How does this happen?
As the insects attempt to cross the grassless divide, a human comes along in an automobile. Many bugs then collide with what is called a bumper. The wise humans then wash away the splattered remains at a place called Hurricane Car Wash. They seem to like it very much. It has an app that allows them to buy memberships to this place and wash their cars as much as they like.
Say goodbye to bug guts at Hurricane Car Wash. Get unlimited daily washes in the soft touch or touch-free bays 24/7 at all 3 of their locations. Download the Touch 4 Wash app today or find out more at hurricanecarwash.net. When the only thing strong enough to fight the dirt is a hurricane. Hurricane Car Wash.
What gets in the way of eating your favorite foods? What prevents you from smiling in pictures of your most memorable moments? For so many, it's the almighty dollar. The cost is often the deal breaker for the smile that you deserve. But with Mid-America Dental Center, it doesn't have to be. Of course, Mid-America Dental Center accepts insurance from Delta Dental, Guardian, Aetna, United, Humana, and over 200 more insurance providers. But they can also help you find affordable dental insurance and payment plans so you can finally get your dental work completed. Don't let cost keep you from getting the dental care you need. See how you can get the smile of your dreams that also works for your budget at Mid-America Dental Center.
I'm Brian George, CEO of Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center, just off of I-44 Exit 44, and at MidAmericaDental.com. Changing lives and making smiles at dental centers.
Our best for less in a day at Dental Center.
And now it's time to Ask the Attorney with Webster and Carlton on News Talk KZRG.
Tom Carlton, he's with Webster and Carlton. They specialize in workers' compensation, and Tom is joining us this morning live in Studio 1Z. Tom, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Tom, this phrase occupational disease is one that sometimes people hear. Can you briefly describe to us what it is, and then can you walk us through the types of people in Missouri that it might apply to?
Sure. I think we briefly touched on this before, but again, there's, a sudden onset injury is an injury that happens at one specific moment in time. You bend over, all of a sudden you feel pain. Occupational disease, and also you can use the term repetitive injury, and that is, repetitive kind of defines it a little bit better, but because it's injury from repetitious use. And again, I think on one of the previous episodes I talked about, office workers that are typing and using their hands on a computer all day. They can develop Lots of times they'll develop carpal tunnel. Mm-hmm. Again, that's a problem that's come on over time, not one specific day, come on over time. That's repetitious use. That is occupational disease. But even occupational disease can be all kinds. I've seen people that are in factories that are stand on their feet all day or have to do a lot of walking on concrete in a factory, and they developed knee problems or ankle problems or back problems. And again, if that's something that they're doing repetitiously more than what they would be doing outside during their normal life, that can be considered an occupational disease. In Missouri, in factories, we see a lot of people, again, just basically anything they do repetitively can cause wear and tear on the body. And if whatever you're doing repetitively causes wrist problems, carpal tunnel, that could be work-related. If it It could cause elbow problems, shoulder problems. A lot of people that do overhead work develop occupational disease or repetitive problems with their shoulders. So it's a wide variety. Occupational disease, again, it deals with repetitive type injuries that come on over time, but it can affect any part of the body.
Yeah, any part in any industry. That's the thing. White collar industry to me is what comes to mind.
Absolutely. Again, people that sit in an office and do things on their computer. Very common to get carpal tunnel or back issues from sitting in a specific spot, or certain chairs can cause injuries to people's back over time. So it's a wide variety, and again, it's another good reason to ask an attorney, because it can come in various stages and various types of accidents.
Yeah, and stuff like that can feel like a wilderness of unknown, but that's why there's the law firm of Webster and Carlton, because they can make those unknowns very known to you and help you out. You can visit their Joplin location at 602 South Wall, or pop over to their Springfield location, or you can give them a ring at 417-781-5690. Tom, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
That was KZRG's Ask the Attorney with Webster and Carlton on News Talk KZRG.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Catch my show every weekday. It all starts at 2 for honest news, truthful news on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:45 is the KZRG news time, and so hot it's stupid is the KZRG weather outlook for the week.
It's your fault.
Well,
it's so Ted. I mean, geez.
Listen, you said it, not me. But look, if the Four States area needs a fall guy for why it's so hot and sultry out, then I guess that'll be me. I can be the fall guy, and it makes sense. You know, if the shoe fits, wear it. I get it.
Yeah, your feet are getting bigger as we talk. It's going to be hot all week long. We have a heat advisory in effect starting, it started on Sunday, actually. It goes all the way through Friday night at 9 o'clock. I think there's a chance it may get extended as we get closer to Saturday as well. High temperatures in the mid to low to mid 90s. That's low to mid 90s during the daytime. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s at night. And this hot temperature with the winds out of the south gusting as high as 25 miles per hour today, 22 miles per hour tomorrow, is just going to make it miserable. So if you got to be outside, make sure you drink plenty of cool water, if at all possible. Keep yourself taken care of, and take breaks if you have to do any strenuous work on the outside. News Talk KZRG meteorologist Ray Stagey giving us that information.
Well, here's kind of an interesting science story for you this morning. Researchers at a Florida university say bacterial toxins produced by tiny marine organisms that they've been studying in Antarctica allegedly could become an effective treatment for melanoma. Now, melanoma is one of the deadliest forms of skin cancer that we know of. Now, apparently these scientists, they actually went to Antarctica to collect samples of something that's called acidians. They're invertebrates known as sea squirts. And apparently so Antarctica has an invertebrate known as sea squirts that are called acidians, something along those lines. I don't know. This is science talk, all right? I'm not an egghead here. I was actually cool in high school. I played ball, just saying. So I don't know all this science talk. But basically, the lead scientist said that the toxins produced by these sea squirts could be a really solid protection against predators. That's what they use it for. And apparently, we could use it for melanoma treatment. Kind of interesting. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Now, research, if it goes well with these sea squirts, and I guess what they squirted out, we collected, and it's a toxin that scares predators, and now we could use it to scare cancer. If that research goes well, then it can move towards human trials, which is pretty neat. Now, to clarify, I will say, this thing isn't going to roll out. We're not going to have a cure to melanoma in the next 6 months or year, or maybe not even for the next 10 years. But this is just a brand new avenue that scientists are looking towards to possibly explore cures for melanoma, the sea squirt toxin.
That's quite interesting. In fact, it'd be very nice because I have somebody I know that's currently battling skin cancer, and it'd be very helpful if it was available now.
And that's what I told them. I called the scientists for the story, and I said, Steve Scott knows someone that has this. Please, can we get this done? And they said,
Please.
Just for you, Steve Scott, we will. Now, apparently, they've already been testing this type of toxin in lab rats. And early trials show that it's been killing the melanoma in lab rats without killing the rat in some of the cases.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. Now, of course, the hard part, these scientists said they were super excited about this. They really think this could be a real shot at some really, really, truly groundbreaking discoveries when it comes to cancer treatment. But the bottleneck, the lead scientist said, was actually getting this toxin itself. The lead scientist said, quote, you need hundreds of milligrams to grams of this metabolite. And from a basketball-sized collection of sea squirts, we might get 1/1,000th of that. Obviously, we cannot collect 1,000 basketball-sized quantities from Antarctica. So we need to figure out a way to produce this stuff in a lab, end quote. So they're going to take this chemical compound, see if they can make it again.
That would be great if they could get it where it could be manufactured in the lab instead of having to get it from these poor creatures.
Yeah, and then those scientists can change their LinkedIn to say sea squirt manufacturer, which everyone has always grown up as a little kid. And, hey, Timmy, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a cop. I want to be a spaceman. I want to be a sea squirt manufacturer. Oh, of course.
Yeah, those seas, they need a squirt.
Whoa, hey, cool your jets there, guy. This is a family show. KZRG News Time, 8:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The U.S. Supreme Court gearing up to release their ruling on a major birthright citizenship case. The president has predicted that the court will rule against his effort to limit birthright citizenship. The nation's waiting on pins and needles, and it could be coming soon.
Number 2.
The prisoner accused of stealing a Jasper County Sheriff's Prison transport van while 2 deputies were locked inside now faces 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping. During the joyride, the van also sustained more than $1,000 in damages to the bumper. You can read all about the chaotic chase at newstalkkzrg.com.
Number 1.
Major road work west of Joplin starting on Monday, July the 6th. The intersection of West 20th Street and Central City Road is going to be closed. The reason why? They're installing a brand new roundabout. Now, the construction closure will be for at least about 2 months.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
The Supreme Court ruled that mail-in ballots received after Election Day can count if they're postmarked before Election Day. What are your thoughts on this? We want to know. Text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, Chris Platt will be here at 9. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton crack the mic at 11. Sean Hannity at 2. Mark Levin at 5. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. The heat advisory will stay with.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate it. We will talk to you later.